that mouse. Now we're live.
Oh, snap.
Oh my
Hey.
gosh. Hi, everyone. We're here for you. Maybe? Jeremy, say things.
Okay. So tonight we're going to play Spectaculars. It's amazing. It's one of the best superhero games out there. And I'm grateful that all these amazing people have joined us. I think you guys will like it too.
If I like it half as much as I like you, Jeremy, I'm going to love it.
Wow.
That's look at that.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Listen to those good
Ooh.
vibes.
So spicy.
But yeah.
When Batman speaks to you that way.
So
I like it half as much as...
oh man.
Where are the other hugs going?
Where's the Jeremy? Why do I love him so much?
Thank you. I appreciate that. So tonight is going to be like a session 0. We're basically going to be building our characters and doing one of my favorite parts about the system is there's like a shared world building. So everybody kind of feels invested in their play space. So I suppose before we go too deep into that, it's usually appropriate from what I've seen to let everybody go around, introduce themselves, plug any pluggables. And I'll just follow Chuck's lead on this normally and just follow the screen here. So the first man, the man possibly, I see Jake.
Oh boy, I'm Jake with the Defenders of Kobold. And you can catch more of our shenanigans at twitch.tv/Defenders of Kobold, all one word. That's about it. I'll pass it along to the
You're
next
fancy. Dan, look at you. Beautiful bastard.
Yeah, it's much the same, but I also have the little Dan dies at the end here to shill. Our zine you can get
shill
on
that sexy
Stripe
business.
RPG and itch.io.
Yes.
Hopefully print on demand soon. If we
I
ever
don't
get
have a
our
lot of money. How much
formatting
is
right.
that?
It's only
Uh,
50 cents.
50 cents right now.
50
Really?
cents?
50
Blood in the
cents for a
sand.
zine?
You gotta be
Oh,
kidding.
Man.
That's nuts.
That's
Go out
gotta
and
be a
buy them
trick.
all. Buy all the digital copies.
The
There's a
link
limited number of
is
them.
right now in the place
Oh, that's amazing.
where you're looking with your eyes.
Jen, you wonderful person. Is there anything you want to share with us?
Oh my gosh, you called me a wonderful person. That's awesome.
Of course I did.
I am Jen. I'm a defender of Kobold. I play any TTRPG I can get my hands on. And that's kind of it. The Razine's been repped.
Cool.
I don't have my own channel because I just mooch off of everybody else's channel. So
I
it
respect
works.
that.
It works.
Yeah.
She was
And-
the taskmaster that produced that zine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she gets
too.
things done.
I appreciate being called a
It would not
taskmaster.
exist without her.
It's
Aw.
true.
It's true.
Oh,
It's
thank
true.
you, Jake.
A lot of
Now-
it will still be in our heads and not on paper.
Who is this sexy masked bastard in the corner?
Yeah.
I'm not Batman. My name is Frendon. I'm a defender of Kobold as well. We play all sorts of things. You should check out our Discord if you're in chat. There's good people in that community. And I draw stuff for tabletop, and you could find me everywhere under the name Frendon. That's it.
Lovely. So we go from a sexy bastard to look at this classy bastard with a pipe.
Oh man, that's me. Yeah. I'm Chuck, HBIC here at Defenders of Kobold. And
Head Batman in Chief.
And
Yes.
Batman and Chief. I don't know. Like, I've played this game before. It's going to be great. You should
Yeah.
also check Jeff and I over on Zweihander, twitch.tv/ZweihanderRPG. And
yeah.
maybe here soon you can check us out over on Free League Publishing.
That's pretty
That's it.
amazing.
That's all I got.
And then last but not least, the big huggable bear himself, Jeff. We all love you. What do you want to say?
I'm a huggable bear. Now I want to create a superhero that's a huggable bear. That fit the Eldritch Mysteries mystique.
Sure. You can make
Okay.
a Care Bear. I don't care.
If he's naked, you could name him a Bear Hug, BARE, and that's
Oh my.
There we go.
That joke was
Oh,
unbearable.
Oh,
Oh,
No.
what's happened?
so yeah.
So
don't
I'm
tempt him,
Jeff.
please.
Twitch.tv/TheLollygaggers. I play games. So just check that out. And like Chuck said, come over to Zweihander RPG's channel as well. You can find us there. That's it. Yeah.
All right, awesome. So there's a little bit of randomness and a little bit of choice in character creation. So what we start off doing is everybody's going to draw. I know by core, you typically draw 5 cards. I like to let people draw 6 because I want you to have lots of choices available to you. But in the end, you're only going to be able to choose up to 6 powers. So the first thing that we would do is you're going to go to of our little decks of cards we've got here. There's one that's at the powers that has like the green backing on it. Everybody's going to want to draw 6 cards from that.
Where do I go to find those
Yeah.
cards?
It's on the main
Oh, decks.
screen.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't want to draw from there. It's just on the main screen itself. So
I just got a black screen.
oh, you have Jeremy's problem. Okay.
I also
I just have a black screen.
I also have black.
I
also
can
just
kind of
have
see
black
stuff under it on the
Okay.
bottom.
Yeah, on the edges. Yeah, when I scroll.
when I
okay.
logged in,
These guys
it
got
said I
nice.
didn't have a token with visibility.
No worries.
I
Let's
don't
go
mind the
ahead.
black screen. I am the knight.
How
Oh my
many? How many
God.
cards?
The nighty
How many
night.
cards, Jeremy? 6.
Yeah, I was going to say 6. I like giving
If I
people like a
click-
good.
Interact with decks, I can open that up.
See if you
Oh.
get.
Whoa!
Ooh,
Cards
look
I
at
just
that.
got some
I got
cards that put
cards.
up
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to draw them from the right hand side. The right hand side, bad stuff can happen over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I deleted the game. We talked about
Done
this.
playing
That was
role-playing games. That's it.
spectaculars,
I quit.
everyone. Thanks for
Good
coming.
game, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Ooh. Okay, so we've got this. So what do we do with these cards now?
So take a look what you got, because basically you're going to kind of be building a hand. Oh, well, let me discard the cards that came to me. I don't want to take cards away from you fellas.
Just drop them. Just drag and drop them on the
I will.
on the desktop.
So basically just kind of keep that in front of you so you have an idea of what options are available to you. And kind of as we talk about, what sounds fun to you, you'll sort of try and get a feel for what you might like. Because each of you will have those cards to choose from, as well as there are also basic powers that everybody has access to.
Nice.
So your basic powers are things like super strength, super toughness, flight, energy blasting, and signature weapon. So between your hand that you drew, each of you drew 6 unique powers.
Mhm.
And then there's also access to any of those 5 basic powers that anybody can draw from.
And where do we see
And-
the basic powers?
Whoa.
Ooh.
Let there be light. I think everyone should see now,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's pretty.
What's going on?
Right.
The basic powers at the top of the screen. I laid
see.
them all out for you, Jeremy.
Awesome. You're
Neat.
a beautiful, beautiful huckleberry, Jeff. I love you.
How do I choose which? If I click on a card, what happens to it? I don't want to click on it because I'm
It
afraid of
zooms-
breaking
it
the
zooms
game.
in.
Okay,
So-
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
Oh,
you
thank
want
God.
to interact with the cards on the table, you have to use the tile control option that's on the left. If you see all those buttons on the left,
Mm-hmm.
Looks
one
kind of like
of
the
those
Top
little
left,
cube
bottom
thing.
left.
top left.
Got
And
it.
So one of them looks like Qbert. That's what Jeremy called it. And if you click that, you can start right clicking. You can start clicking and then right clicking on the decks, which allows you to have some
Mhm.
menu interaction.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. You guys have a Qbert button?
Yeah, I'm not. I
You
see.
don't
I
see
have.
it.
I select.
I know what Qbert looks like. I don't see
That's what
Qbert.
Jeremy called it.
It's
No,
two
it's like
big blocks on
basic
top of each other.
controls.
yeah. It's called tile controls.
Yeah.
don't
I
have
see
that.
select tokens. I don't see tile controls.
Okay.
I'm hovering over.
I'm hovering over all of them as
Yeah,
well.
I
You know
I
why?
have 7 icons. I have 7 icons.
What's that?
Same.
Let me see. I'm gonna up the permissions.
Don't worry. This
that
is a
people have.
perfect session 0.
Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep talking.
It's all right.
Don't worry.
So
This is how we learn.
as we
This is
work
how
through
we
that
learn.
sort of stuff,
Uh-huh.
once we get into drawing those cards, the other thing you're going to draw is you're going to draw from a deck that will give you different identities. And so you're going to kind of look through your available powers and you're going to choose between 1 and 3 powers. And you'll also choose one identity and then you'll choose an archetype that kind of fits what you think would be cool to play. Basically, when you choose your powers, you have a primary power, a secondary power, and a third power. You don't have to have 3, but you can. Whatever your primary power is, you always roll it at 80%. Secondary always rolls at 70%. And then your third power always rolls at 60%.
Okay. Cool.
The main reason that you might choose to only have 1 or 2 powers is if you leave power slots empty, you get more hero points. And hero points are the things that you use to do team up attacks or special maneuvers. Like you might have somebody that has a leadership ability or somebody that can heal teammates or something like that. So you kind of balance out between having a bigger power suite versus being able to do special combat maneuvers, so to speak. The other thing is your basic powers don't tend to have as many special tricks that you can do with them, but they also give you more hero points. You'll get 1 hero point per basic power you have.
And those are the ones across the top.
The gray ones on
Yeah.
top. Yeah.
Yeah, those
Gray
are the
ones.
gray ones. So are folks able to see their hands of stuff at the moment?
I can.
Yeah.
See our background, our cards that are on the table already, and then the
Cool.
6 that we drew.
So are we allowed to talk about what?
Oh
powers
yeah,
we've
please
gotten?
do. This is all a little bit on the middle because like imagine like this is a group of writers or whatever coming together trying to decide, okay, what's going to be a cool team? What's going to be a setting that we would want these, characters to run around in? So by all means, I was about to ask if anybody has anything they see that looks really cool.
So
I've got. Go ahead.
go ahead, Chuck.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead, Chuck. Go ahead.
I've got some really cool, like in my hand, like secondary. Like I've got clairvoyance, which like that's okay. You can see and hear as though you were standing in another location.
Nice.
I got the basic super speed. I got corrosion,
nice.
so I can like shoot out disintegration rays.
Nice.
The 3 that I'm really kind of digging is I got telepathy, so I could talk to people.
Oh wow.
I have shape shifting, and I have portals. And
Wow.
I think those are all very fun sounding.
You
Those
are
are kind of thematically kind of together
Yeah.
too. Telepathy,
Mhm.
clairvoyance, like even shapeshifting. It's all kind of manipulative.
That's
Mhm.
like I'm definitely thinking because
You are the taskmaster.
Sort of,
I'm
yeah.
gonna name my
I do
character
have-
Jen.
Hey.
I do have a dumb question.
I'm
What-
project manager.
the gray cards are basic
Mhm.
powers, right? So what are red cards and blue cards?
So those are the cards that are unique to you. Only you have access to those cards that you drew.
Sure. Is there a
Usually
difference between red and blue, or is that just flavor?
not necessarily. So the red cards are specific to this particular setting. We're going to be playing the Eldritch Mysteries module of Spectaculars, which is stuff that deals a little bit more with like magic, and I'm not exactly the best horror runner, but we'll deal with monsters and nonsense like that. My stuff is probably closer to Cabin in the Woods than Cthulhu, if I'm being honest.
That's a great thing
Um,
anyway.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. From what I know of you folks, you're probably fine with that. So that's what the red cards are. The blue cards are like the standard powers that'll show up in any setting, and then the gray ones are just everybody has access to those. But
Okay.
all are
So-
good in their own right.
I have 2 that go
Hmm.
really, really well together. So I have the ones that they're like kind of cool. I
Mhm.
have invisibility, sound manipulation, energy absorption, binding. But then I also have necromancy,
Ooh.
which allows me to raise a corpse, and I have summoning, which allows me to summon a hero.
Oh my god!
So I have both of those together, which I feel like makes up who I want to play.
When you summon a hero, it dies, and then you bring it back to life.
Oh,
I can do them both at the same time because I don't have to. I summon a hero and I just raise a skeleton. Like it just.
Right, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering if that hero dies, could you just?
Oh, do I
pop
have
it
to
back?
have a corpse?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
It's all about kind of how a lot of the stuff is very, you flavor it the way you want to do it. Like I actually had necromancy in the character as well. And my guy would just kind of like open up a weird rift to the nether realm and summon forward something.
I want it to be like the summoning is like I summon a ghost hero, and like the necromancy is I actually like raise like a zombie hero from the dead that like claws up out of the ground. Like
That's amazing.
I like those 2 powers a ton. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick those 2.
They're both really, really useful. The main thing to look at on those is you might see like little timer tokens.
Yeah, they've got a lot of
So-
timer tokens.
So basically, when you look at your powers, most of them have like special power stunts or like something that you can do that is like you can do it once per that many timer tokens. It's like a
Yep.
cooldown. So
So it's like once
whenever
per. Yeah, I got it.
you summoning stuff typically tends to you have to wait like 3 or 4
Yeah.
rounds before you can do it again. But it's
If I have
really nice
2
to
of them,
an
I can stagger them,
yes,
which is neat. like that's kind of perfect to just stagger them because I can only do one per turn anyway, which is really cool.
That's pretty amazing. I love it.
Yay!
All right, Jake, you're looking serious.
Hmm. Now I've got telekinesis, some mind control, air manipulation, which I'm not too hot about, but the last three are I'm really keen on. I got some teleportation, some darkness manipulation,
Ooh.
Darkness.
and time manipulation.
Oh shit.
What?
Ooh.
I can
Wow.
That's
mess
so
with
cool.
I can mess with my own initiative. I like that.
All of those together are so neat. Oh my god.
Mhm.
Shroud them in
Absolutely.
darkness, then travel forward in time after they've fallen asleep because it's dark and they're really, really tired.
And they're really comfortable too.
You are Night Night Man.
Night, night, man.
Oh, no.
Teleport them to
Nighty-night.
their beds, cover and
Nighty-night,
shroud them with
man.
darkness. Move time forward until they're asleep.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm hearing this is going to be a difficult team to challenge, and that's okay. I'll just make terrible
Night-night.
things.
I have fairly mundane ones, but I'm kind of feeling it.
Okay.
I've got healing, which I mean that's useful in any party.
Yeah.
Laser generation, so
Ooh.
kind of Iron Man finger blast kind of situation.
Sure.
Companion, which I'm definitely
nice.
picking. Just fodder. Just go, Robin. Take care of the Joker. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. Super senses, so just see, hear, smell better, which is great.
Nice.
Astral projection, which I can project my consciousness outside my body, and
All right.
debilitation, which just kind of stuns. So I'm kind of feeling like heal, companion, stun. I just kind of want to be like a mundane guy who sends his buddy off to do all the heavy lifting.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, he's a normal guy who gets like young superheroes that he's going to, it's like this is your.
He's
this
called
is
the
your
manipulator.
school. And then he just does everything for him.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna.
Gaslighter.
Gaslighter.
Oh no! I
Did I
can't
just make
do
it
that.
bad? I'm sorry, Brendan.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Now I'm going a different direction. Actually, that's fine. I'm gonna
All right.
pick laser generation and super senses instead.
I mean, those all sound amazing.
Hmm?
Are you seeing anything that you're digging, Dan?
I'm not sure yet. I have armor, cold manipulation, natural weapons, which is like bone claws, fangs,
Wolverine.
talons, or something, a little Wolverine there.
Mm-hmm.
Kinetic energy manipulation, animate objects, and life drain. And I don't know. I'm maybe not looking at it the right way. I'm not sure which of these pair nicely together. I mean,
Like,
maybe armor and natural weapons, but I also thought
Mhm.
maybe kinetic energy manipulation and animate objects.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
I think
life
kinetic
drain.
energy and natural weapons would work too. Like you could just
Mm.
summon blizzards to fuck with people.
The
Yeah.
effect of the kinetic energy is just manipulating physical damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What about the moving items and then life drain?
I thought about that too.
You could be the poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
Animate objects and life drain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Team
Pretty
that
cool.
up with I don't know, like flight or something like that. You could be a spooky
Yeah,
ghost.
you could be like a
man.
ghost man. Yeah,
Could be
Yeah.
funny.
you
And-
could be the post Dan.
The post band.
And what I would say is like a big part of it is, just look at if you were playing a game, what do you think you would have fun describing using in weird ways? Because a big part of this game isn't just being like, okay, I roll my super strength to punch the dude. You actually get like special advantage dice that you roll if you describe using things in a weird way or if you use the environment. So I would say if you're feeling like a little on the fence between different ones, maybe try and take a guess at which one, if you were describing it, which one do you think you could, describe in a fun way? That sometimes is more important than what just seems obviously more powerful.
Yeah.
And some are going to be better defensive powers, like armor is amazing. Like we had one dude who the only things he picked were super strength, super toughness, and armor. And he got dropped off a skyscraper and he was totally fine. That was just his shtick. He could not be hurt.
The Juggernaut.
Pretty much.
So these the basic powers, is it everyone could pick one, or like we could have multiples of us with the same basic power?
You can have multiple people with the same power. The general rule of thumb that I've seen is like you don't want to have everybody in the party have flight.
Right.
In some ways, that's fun, but you kind of want to make sure you have some people that can't. Usually, you don't want more than 4 people to have one of the basic powers, and usually that doesn't come up. You very rarely have that much overlap.
Right.
But yeah, it's okay if a couple of people wanted super toughness or a couple of people wanted signature weapons. It's all fine. What about our Care Bear? What did he find?
Okay, so I have 2 different directions I'm thinking. The one that really stood out to me was illusions. I can create illusions of people, objects, or places that do not exist except as mirages for those who behold them. I like the potential, like descriptive aspect of that, the things I could do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could pair well with transmutation, which is causing objects to transform as I will, changing shape, size, material composition, or even turning them into entirely different objects. So I'm seeing like kind of like a wizardy, like a Doctor Strange thing kind of going on there between those two. But then the whole Care Bear thing started coming in, and I do have an ability called Animal Manifestation, where I can take on the physical traits of various animals, gaining the benefit of their unique evolutionary advantages. Which really, like I really could become a Care Bear at that point,
Get some energy blast going on there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's barely any choice here, Jeff.
I really wanted that illusions one, though. I think I might do...
Well, with the illusion, you can make your energy blast look like a rainbow.
I'm not even sure if I'm going to do energy blast. I grabbed energy blast because I was thinking of just going full on like sorcerer type, or and like grab an energy
has
blast.
An idea in chat.
Ooh. Old man who likes to cosplay as a bear sometimes. I'm thinking I might do illusions and animal manifestation, and maybe just like constantly turn into like a bull or a bear and make it look like I'm stampeding with like a bunch of bulls and bears running with me. I don't know. Illusions is just so hard to turn down.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I also have Dazzle, but Dazzle and Illusions are pretty close, and Illusions is like a better version of it, I think.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
So to go with that, you'll see like there's one of the tabs you can click on available superheroes, like some of your initial archetypes for this sort of setting. And so some of the recommended ones for whenever we do Eldritch Mysteries, there's Avatar, which is typically something a little closer to like a Thor type character or a Wonder Woman, somebody that would have reason to have previously dealt with supernatural stuff. Familiars are more like weird magical focuses. Like they can be like your Black Cat, they can be like your Lockheed and stuff like that. Sorcerer is going to be kind of like your Doctor Strange sorts. You've got Occultist. They can do magic if you want to flavor it that way. A lot of times that's going to be somebody that's a little closer to like a John Constantine sort of fella or lady. We've got Supernatural Entity, which is sort of like you're not even really a person at that point. You're more like some sort of enigma, like Ghost Rider, Dead Man, or you could even potentially flavor it to be like a demon, like Etrigan or something like that. Legendary Warrior is something more akin to maybe Black Knight or even Hercules or something of that nature. What else we got here? I think those are the initial ones that are kind of suggested. Now, if we come out of this and like, between the next couple of weeks, somebody just has like a light bulb idea that they really love, there are lots of other archetypes, but those are the initial suggested ones. Each of them has some sort of special ability tied to them that is on the second page.
Oh, I didn't see the second page.
The taking the spotlight thing as well, too. Like
they also have their own, like, each class also has a thing called taking the spotlight, which is when I mentioned those like advantage dice earlier. if you ever roll 4 successful advantage dice, it's like the equivalent of like when a character gets a splash panel in a comic book, where it's just like the big, massive event for them, and you kind of almost go into overdrive and get special abilities tied to that.
Oh, oops!
Nice.
I accidentally put my companion card on the table, even though I wanted to keep it.
Okay.
I did a bad.
If you refresh, Brendan, I think you should have controls now. But
Okay,
because I went ahead and just gave everyone like crazy powers, except for Jen, because she wants to delete all of the hard work.
I don't want to. It's just gonna happen. Like,
oh no, it removed all my cards when I refreshed.
Oh, it did the
Oh,
same for
crud,
me.
same.
Yeah.
Check your hand.
Yeah,
yep,
there they
I'm
are.
back. All right, good. All right,
To be in your hand.
panic averted.
No worries.
Panic.
thank God I didn't refresh. I just didn't listen to
Yeah.
anybody.
That would have
I'm always
deleted the whole
refreshed.
game.
So for what it's
The
worth,
whole
like
game.
you don't have to go strictly by the description of it. Like if you see like some sort of special ability tied to one of these and you like it, but you'd like to flavor it as something else, that's totally viable. You know, if somebody wants to make like a Swamp Thing type person and use one of these, go for it.
Sweet. I'm gonna be a familiar with a companion. I just want an ever cascading smaller series of things that I'm controlling.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it a lot.
That's exactly what I did too the first time I
Yeah.
played this.
Oh, it does look like a Cubert stage.
It does.
Yeah,
Look,
right?
when I
See?
put it-
They just couldn't see it. That's all. It
Yeah.
was.
Now when I go to
Okay.
open
Now
up
they can see
the
So-
superheroes, I'm not getting like the PDF thing
think-
anymore.
Hey, 6 week,
Hang on one sec.
6-foot Ewok. It's because
I'm getting a window.
I'm awesome.
It's just not that now.
Do you see anything at the top of like the very, very top of the bar for the
Pop
window?
out sheet, prototype, token, close. It looks like it's like a configuration screen for it.
Go into sheet, click sheet,
Mhm.
and then where it says default sheet, choose the
Yep.
PDF Foundry option and save configuration.
So what's
Okay, that
What's-
worked now.
what's our next step? I think I'm getting it figured out what I want to put together.
Okay. Is there a particular archetype that you think you're into?
I was just looking at it. Was it? Oh, now it's doing the same thing. I gotta go to sheets.
Yeah, hit sheet. If you run into the problem with like the
Hmm.
sheet doesn't show the PDF anymore, click sheet at the very top of that window, and then
Mhm.
choose the PDF Foundry option for the default sheet.
Nice.
It should work for you too, Jeremy. I don't know why. It's
Yeah,
not.
I can actually see it now. Before it was
Okay.
being a little funky,
Beautiful.
but now I can see it.
Okay, good. We're getting there.
We're getting
Getting
there.
there. I feel like I
So-
should do supernatural entity if I'm doing life drain and animate objects and maybe flight.
There is
Supernatural Entity is
spirit,
really
yeah.
nice.
I was thinking also I might be a supernatural entity because I'm a ghost that summons other undead creatures. Because occultist fits, but I feel like being like a Lilith or like
Mhm.
some type of like a demon that raises other things from the grave.
Good deal.
They never
I-
expect the old double
Ghosties.
ghost.
That's right. Not just one, but two.
It's like a ghost.
We could be different types of ghosts. Like I don't know if you actually want to be an angel or a demon, Dan. You might want to be something different.
You could potentially do Avatar is another way you can kind of do that. Avatar doesn't necessarily have to be Thor or Wonder Woman. It can be like you are representing some sort of aspect.
Mm.
In fact, let me kind of pull up and see maybe like a little bit of the difference between the two on what their stuff does.
I was thinking about Avatar because I like the immortality ability.
Mm,
So I'm thinking about going with shape shifting, telepathy, and toughness. It's
Mhm.
like I'm just a great spy. I can sneak in, look like anyone, communicate with everyone, and then if they catch me, they just can't kill me. Like that can be
is-
my big shtick. Is I just don't die. Maybe.
that is pretty amazing. So let's see kind of what our difference is between occultist and supernatural entity here. So the occultist their main kind of shtick is they get a thing called Arcane Scholar, which is once per issue or session, basically. Anytime that you can gain one piece of information that you can seek about a supernatural or occult topic as though you had participated in an interlude scene to seek out that information. So, like typically there's like investigation scenes, and you are just somebody who can kind of add to the investigation of anything arcane without even being there. You can just kind of like, yeah, no, I already kind of know about this. So they maybe don't have as much of a direct bonus in combat, but they're really good at the investigation side of things. The supernatural entity has more of almost like a second sight sort of thing called Shadow Sight, where you can see into a parallel plane of spirits, magic, and unknowable arcane entities at will. You can see the true nature of any magical creature that is disguised as something mundane, and such sight can pierce illusions, both magical and scientific, to see the truth behind them. You can also see and view the history and nature behind objects, and you can maybe reflect where those things once were. So you basically have an ability called See into the Spirit Realm. You get like, if you want to go Thundercats with it, you get sight beyond sight.
Snarf, snarf.
Snarf, snarf.
I was wondering if I had See into the Spirit Realm, could I like pick specific people to raise from the dead?
I'm not against it. I mean, you make a roll, and if you make it, and you describe something cool,
okay,
hell yeah.
Like if there are vampires everywhere, you can summon specifically Abraham Lincoln to deal with it.
Yes.
Oh, there's a Bert.
Yes.
Hey, Bert.
I'm not going to argue against you summoning Abraham Lincoln. That just sounds amazing.
Towering over everyone on the field with his tall stature and giant top hat.
All right.
407 fights ago,
What about anybody else have any particular thoughts of what they might like for archetypes?
I'm going familiar for sure.
You're going familiar.
Jake, what are you thinking?
I was thinking Avatar, Supernatural Entity, or Legendary Warrior.
Cool.
I'd like to maybe the reincarnation bit. Maybe I could be somebody who had died but is now reborn with like weird darkness stuff.
That's always cool. Legendary Warrior is pretty nice. They get, I think they automatically start with extra hero points every fight, which basically means you can do more combat maneuvers, more team attacks, and stuff like that. So they get a very straightforward bonus to doing stuff in combat, which is pretty nice.
Very cool.
So, tell you what, while you guys are meandering over that just a little bit, another thing that we would kind of want to touch base on is what type of team do you want to be? There's two primary suggested team types for Eldritch Mysteries. We can do something a little off the grid if we want to, but the two main types are there's, pact-bound heroes. That's where the team is something akin to like, Knights of the Round or something like that, where the team's bound together by a covenant you share, maybe a sacred duty or a shared mission. Something like that.
Maybe all seen the same butt earlier in the night. Like just it really just codified our mission.
It's possible.
Jeff's head's about to tilt off of his shoulders.
But why?
Yeah, why, Jeff?
Are you not behind this, Jeff? Don't make an ass of me.
Jeff, turn the other cheek. Don't listen to him.
Oh no.
It's coming from two different angles now.
Oh Lord.
That's what the butt was saying earlier.
Ooh.
Oh no.
So for our other type, we have Monster Squad.
It's trying not to crack a smile at these
Ooh,
puns.
Monster Squad.
Yeah, your team's strongest connection is the fundamental monstrousness of its individual members. Your monstrous appearances or behaviors make you outcasts of civilized society, but you've grown close through the shared experience of being rejected by the rest of the world. So, like Legion of Monsters, Doom Patrol.
It's too true to life, unfortunately.
I see Brendan. Like,
he's a good person.
Yeah, he's a good person for sure. Do you guys feel an affinity towards one of those more than the other?
I kind of feel like Monster Squad, maybe.
I
but-
think so.
Okay. I see.
I think I
Friend
might.
in like
Oop, sorry,
Oh,
never
yeah.
mind.
No,
No,
go
man,
ahead.
Jake, you're on.
No, I was just thinking. I was looking over occultist, and I think occultist would be better.
Oh, for your day.
Badass.
Yeah.
Very
If
cool.
nobody wants that, I'll take that.
All right.
Chuck, what were you doing?
I keep thinking about Avatar.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
I mean, I'll take whatever's left. Because I think so Frendon's familiar, and then Jake just said occultist, your avatar. Somebody was doing supernatural entity. Who
I
was
think
doing supernatural
Dan
entity?
and Jen both were, right?
And I could always do something different too.
Does it make sense to do different things, or is it
Because
okay
I
if
could
we do
do
the same
sorcerer.
Yeah, usually you want to have different archetypes. You don't.
Okay.
You don't. You try not to double up on the archetypes. It's
I-
not the
I
end of the
think-
world if.
I think sorcerer would work reasonably well for what I have also.
Okay.
Then I think that leaves me. Then I think the last one left is legendary warrior, and I think I can because because you were going to go supernatural entity, right, Jen?
thing? Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'll take legendary warrior then, since it's the last one,
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
and I'll go the bear route. I'll go the animal.
I could see a sorcerer animating objects and things. So
All right. So one of the things that we'll want to draw cards for is we're going to draw identities, and this is kind of like, Clark Kent is a reporter. Batman, he's like a industrialist or a millionaire on the side. This is sort of like either what your secret identity is or kind of what your core skill set is, so to speak. It's kind of up to you whether or not you maintain secret identities, but this will help you establish a lot of what your skills are.
And we got to just
I
draw
figure it
one of
might
those?
not hurt if we go ahead and draw those kind of as we get into talking about our team dynamic.
Do we click select the PDF if we want to use one of them, like to fill it out, or should I do nothing?
You don't need to. Just fill it out.
Yeah.
Since we're not doubling up on archetypes, just fill it out. It's
Mhm.
fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to update them before the next time we play to properly represent the powers that you all chose. So this is just for the first run.
nice.
All right. I drew socialite.
All right. So did you draw 3 for yourself?
Oh, no, I just drew one.
Go ahead and draw 3, and then you can choose which one you like the most.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody gets to draw 3 identities and kind of look through them and see what maybe feels best to you. Now, you don't have to make a hard and fast decision. As we're going through like our team dynamic and maybe building the city, you might change your mind later on, and that's totally cool.
I told it to draw 3, but I didn't see where they went.
It takes
Yeah, I didn't
a
see where they
little
went.
bit to show up.
Those
Okay.
look like Cubert.
Okay.
I know.
does.
I do.
And we'll take Hubert.
They don't show up for like 30 seconds or a minute or so. Let me know, and I can try to deal them because that worked last
Okay.
time.
So I click the
Mhm.
identities.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little hand icon after you select
Yeah.
Hubert, and you click the hand icon, then you select 3 from the toggle menu.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just because there's so many people interacting with it. It's like
Yeah,
glitching
it's-
out.
Please
Choking a
stop.
little bit.
Yeah.
Are you
Who doesn't
I- Wait, I
have stuff
clicked-
yet?
tile controls.
That's where you want to start, and that'll let you
Yeah.
interact with
Mhm.
the decks.
Mhm.
You click on a deck, and then you right-click on it, and it'll give you all the little icons around it, and you can just click
And-
the little hand.
Oh,
The
yeah,
hand-
it's not giving me anything right now.
Oh, you-
Chuck, did you get yours?
I've got mine.
All right.
Oh.
Jake, did you get yours?
I chose 3, or I chose to draw 3, but I haven't gotten.
Okay.
Same.
Whoa, I chose to draw -3 by accident. I didn't click
Uh-oh.
it though. I just
Oh,
got really
no.
close.
All right, I'm gonna deal to the 4 of you. Let's
Wait.
see if that works.
Okay, I
I'm just
won't
gonna-
select anything.
I'm just gonna reset here real quick, see if that does it.
Refresh. I can
Yeah.
try and do that too.
Nope, not yet.
Should we just hang on to the power cards for now?
Yes.
The ones that you selected, yeah. You can throw the ones that you don't use just on the table, like over there on that big pile, and I can
Okay.
clean them up later.
Where do I put them in the slots underneath the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
No.
No, that's for macros. Just leave them in your. You
Mhm.
can just leave them in your hand.
in the hand? Okay.
Yeah, because eventually what you're going to do is you're going to look at your character sheet and kind of decide which one you want to be your primary. So like your primary superpower is at 80%, your lesser power is at 70%, and your minor power is 60%.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll choose kind of how you want to prioritize them as far as which one you want to be your most effective. And you can choose. You don't have to take 3 powers. You get a lot of versatility with that. You could potentially get more hero points if you don't. So that's kind of up to you to build it as you like.
I'm going to take 2. I'm not taking 3.
That's cool.
And then are we supposed to take the ones up top, or are those just...
I snatched one.
Those are
I saw that.
optional.
Okay, never mind. I'm just going to do necromancy and summoning.
I still didn't get my identity cards just yet. So.
Same.
Okay.
Gray, you should be very suspicious.
I don't have my my identity cards yet either.
Okay. I'll see if I can get some manually.
All right. Well, tell you what, in the meanwhile, I'll pull up Monster Squad and read through some of that.
We're probably pissing off our little micro instance AWS.
So too, I'll kind of ask a few like team questions in the meanwhile. So one of the first sections on Monster Squad is the formation of the team. Like what brought the team together originally? There's a few suggested ones, or we can always ad-lib it. So one of the first ones is shelter. You were granted protection by some person or organization who brought people like you together while shielding you from the outside world. Another option is shared origin. Each of you shares the same original source of your original powers. Or exile. The members of your team met after fleeing underground or into the wilderness.
That sounds like the A-team option, which is always the best option.
A-team's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, they're all good though.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of cards.
What was the first option again?
So the first option
setup, isn't it?
Exactly. First one is very Doom Squad or X-Men. Okay. Like somebody kind of brought you together to kind of give you shelter from the outside world.
Okay.
The second one is more like everybody somehow got their powers at the same time. It's a shared origin, basically.
Shared origin's kind of fun too.
I kind of like the Doom Patrol take on it. That way, lets us be a little more play up on not being quite as cohesive as a team.
That's fair, and then that does give you a little more leeway that you don't necessarily all have to have the same origin for your powers and whatnot. So there's some benefit to that. And if
being exposed to radiation, and then we all just changed.
Yeah, I mean, hey, radiation does weird things. Why not?
Brendan, your identity cards are to the right there: musician, outcast, and librarian.
Sweet.
So you should be able to grab them and take them into your deck.
Okay, thank you.
And then, so I just gotta deal it manually.
It worked.
If you're a golden god.
Be Jens, that's Doctor, Warden, and Stunt Performer.
Ooh.
Doctor, Warden, and Stunt Performer.
Mm-hmm.
Why can I not? They're like behind something. I can't move over.
Do you have the tile controls selected on the left?
I do.
You can click and drag.
But it's too far to the I can't get to them because they're too far to the right for me.
Hold down right click and just drag your screen over.
Thank you. Got it.
I filled out my PDF and closed it and opened it back up and it didn't save changes.
Well, shit.
How do I take it to my hand?
You should be able to left click on it and then hit the take button.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you should. I didn't say that's
left
going
click?
to work. Yeah, so like you click on it and then left click to activate the deck, then right click and then hit the
got it
button.
Oh no.
Got it.
Easy's got it.
And then oh my god, Dan, these are gonna be yours and you're gonna laugh at one of them.
Oh no.
Not the first one, not the second one, but the third one. It says Vagabond on it.
I'm waiting for him to show up for me.
So it's to the right on the far to the right.
I'm looking at it. There's like a little water tower thing over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting. I don't see them yet. They're there. They just showed up. Vagabond, you've got to be kidding me.
You got Vagabond again?
You got Vagabond again.
I feel like I have to take that one.
That's amazing. For the most part, your identities, you can shade them a little bit. Like I remember in one game, somebody got entertainer or performer, and they decided to flavor that they were a pro wrestler and just use the same batch of skills.
I feel like it's got to be Vagabond. I mean, like there's too much. What does Vagabond give you for your different skills? Let me see. Like the on the watch for trouble, brawl with someone, sneak around, conceal something, lie to someone, anything else.
So in general, like most comic book characters are super competent. Like you'll have a list of skills that are your really good things, and then anything else is if you can describe a reasonable explanation for why your character might be able to attempt something, you can roll it at 50% even if you don't have that skill. If your Vagabond wants to try and say, well, I'm going to try and study the diagram for this nuclear power plant, I'll probably say, yeah, maybe not.
You won't.
But
I in our Vesson game, I got a double Vagabond, so
yes.
I feel like it's
in the stars.
Already decided.
It's nice, and that's pretty sweet because it gives you one of them was even like a fighting ability on its own.
Brawl with someone.
Yeah, so you even have a built-in fighting ability outside of your powers, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's an 80%. I read them in order, so
yeah, so that's pretty sweet. You're an excellent fighter even without your powers.
Jake, yours are up there now: clergy, detective, and celebrity.
Ooh.
So I assume I take one of these and discard the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I feel like it's already decided. The other artist and photographer, but Vagabond. I don't know.
Vagabond's good.
How can I not?
I think I'm going to take the celebrity one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So a celebrity occultist. That's fun.
Am I good to right click and discard the ones I don't want?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I saw it.
I have circus performer, historian, and stage magician.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh wow.
2 of those are amazing. The other one's a historian. Oh shit, great. What is
there
it?
are
That's
no
500?
bad
What do we
choices.
get for 500?
Whoa. I don't even know. We're not.
Well, they said hero points. They said.
Oh
they
yeah,
did
there we
hero
go.
points 5 times.
Thank you, Gray. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's really amazing. Thank
Very
you.
cool.
Man, you guys are going to come out swinging whenever you do your first encounter.
We're gonna go fight a rabbit and we're gonna unload on it.
Yes.
Phrasing.
So I'm gonna play a doctor
Nice.
and just can I continually treat the injuries of the creatures I've summoned
Sure.
and make an army?
So you summon a bunch of stuff. I'm a familiar with healing, and you're a doctor, so maybe like something there. I don't know. Thematically, kind of makes sense. Maybe I'm one of your summons that got away.
Oh God.
I can't control this one. Give me your badge and your gun, cat.
Give me your badge and your gun.
That could be a lot of fun.
All right, I'm just gonna put these up here because I can't discard them. It won't let me.
Yeah, I was just dragging them onto the table.
It won't let me.
It's all good. I'll clean it up.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys. It sounds like we've got some really fun professions or identities out there. So it sounds like our team formation is a little bit on the Doom Patrol side. We've got the next section is kind of like, where's your sanctuary? Where does your team hide out when it's not fighting the forces of evil?
A cabin in the woods.
That's amazing because, I'm going to click other for now, and I'm typing in cabin in the woods as one of the options.
Oh, that can be it. We were brought together to be The things
Cabin
that
in the Woods
killed
monsters.
the kids in the cabin in the woods.
That's amazing.
We are the cabin in the wood knots.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
So just to share what some of the other, God, it's hard to beat Cabin in the Woods. You know, they mentioned like having an abandoned cathedral. You have like your underground thing, sort of Ninja Turtle style, in the sewers or subway tunnels. Potentially have like a bunker or something like that, or you just have some creepy cabin in the woods, which is kind of fun.
As long as wherever has a cat bed, I'm pretty good for my character. So anywhere that can fit like a nice tower or have a trail, I'm pretty happy with.
Okay. I'm typing in cabin in the woods for the moment. We can always go back and change it later, but that's really awesome. So the last category on Monster Squad is the torches and pitchforks category. Who does the team fear will come for them if they reveal their existence?
Mom.
Could be.
Moms in general.
So one option is the government. The government seeks to imprison or kill the members of the team, which would impact your government reputation. Is it zealots, a mob of citizens whipped into a fervor either by religious zeal or simple fear? Or maybe other monsters. Maybe there's evil creatures from the nether realm that want to hunt you down to destroy you for interfering with their affairs. Or we can always fill in other as well.
Who would be after us? Just normies, just normal people.
Well, if we picked other in Cabin in the Woods, maybe it's the organization that originally created us to be ghouls for them, potentially.
It could be.
That could be.
That
And that
makes
would
sense.
lean us back towards our origin story, being rather than protected, we were all created at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, they could have collected us over
They could
time.
be, yeah. They collected us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hear me out on this one.
I'm hearing. I've got ears.
Universal Studios.
Oh, I kind of enjoy that. That's who's after us.
They want to capture us so they can save money on special effects as they try to reboot the classic monsters.
They just can't compete with Disney anymore. We can only afford
Tom Cruise. We need those monsters.
That's right. We have to reboot this cinematic universe somehow.
Oh my God.
For a split second, I thought you were gonna say that they captured us because they wanted us to perform at like their Universal Horror Nights,
theater attractions, or whatever.
The Horror Nights.
Yeah.
They put skid pads on our shins so that we can slide all over the place.
Okay, so I'll select government, but there's a little truths box. I'm going to write the caveat of
Universal Studios.
Granted, the government is after you, but maybe part of that is because for whatever reason, Universal Studios has a financial stake in that.
It's NBC Universal. They're basically the government.
Yeah. Okay. That's
naturally bad guy corporation.
Yeah, they're trying to compete with Disney now.
All right. So that does bring our government reputation down by just a little bit, and that's okay.
It's hyphenated.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I dig that. All right, so another thing that we kind of want to look into is now we're going to get into kind of deciding like where are we doing our stuff. So now we're going to kind of build our city. Or one thing I would want to ask is like, do you guys want to set this relatively modern day? Do you want to go a little retro? Like what kind of time period do you want to do?
Don't ask me because I'll pick retro every time, so that way we avoid cell phones and can do fun noir-y things.
I'm kind of cool with
appreciate
that, too.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I do love pockets.
What's the point of having a cabin in the woods if we've got cell phone coverage?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Fair enough. Okay.
So they want us for the original.
We could go for like
Universal
70s
movies.
era or something.
Oh,
where Universal's
that's good.
still relevant.
Yeah, Universal.
Ooh,
Chuck had a good
cool.
idea. The original Universal monster movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's
Okay,
go like Golden Age shit or whenever it is.
Like Universal Studios, is that 1964? Universal Studios Hollywood? I think that's what I just...
Maybe it'd have to be like 60s or 70s, I think.
Yeah, opened July 15th, 1964.
Okay, that works. That's old timey enough, I think.
So, like, I can mark 70s, and we'll say we're just kind of like on the kind of like in between, like 60s bleeding into 70s or something like that.
Yeah, just when the Gonzo crazy, like
The year of
Italian horror movies
69.
are starting to get made.
Maybe we even have like these strange music videos of people, saying gibberish that's trying to sound like.
Yes.
That's
If you play these records backwards, yeah.
Okay.
Such a great
all right.
song.
It is. It's been stuck in my head. I kind of love it. All right. Okay. So sweet. I was not expecting 70s, but I'm down for that. That's cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Do you want this to take place like in an actual real city, or do we want to do something that's like a fictional city that's maybe close to reality?
I would vote for fictional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
it's easier sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Just make up whatever you want and not.
We're monsters. How about Growlywood?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my. So, okay. I think that begs the question, are we assuming that we're probably in California if we're having like some
Yeah,
sort of...
absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I went for some dumb Hollywood pun.
Okay. I will make note of that. I dig that. All right. So
maybe our cabin is by Big Bear Lake.
Maybe it's in the sleigh area.
Big Bear.
Maybe it's actually like right behind the Hollywood land sign.
Nice.
Big Bear.
So
Big
what
Bear. I've been to Big Bear.
do we want this to be like? So one of the things like we would choose like a city name or a city nickname. So if we're not doing like actual Hollywood, where do you guys kind of want to be in the California area?
That's what Ray said, like Growlywood or something like that.
Just Growlywood?
Or you could do Howlywood too.
Howlywood.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Thank
Dan,
you.
that's
That was
it.
good iteration.
Dan.
Because there's city name and then there's also an entry for city nickname. So I think I'll definitely put Howlywood as city nickname.
Mm-hmm. The filthy underbelly of Hollywood, where the monsters are bred and the blood is shed.
And I'm trying to I wonder if we should just have like some mundane name for the city and then it just get transformed into Howlywood.
I think that's a good idea.
Could do that's like Howltown or something like that. But
oh my god. Okay.
It's got to be like Los Angeles, but it's got to be Lost something that like fits, like Lost something. I don't know what it would be though. And I know that if I say that, somebody else will come up with a much better idea.
Or just Lost Angeles.
My first iteration is like Los Angelos, but
that's
I thought of Lost Man.
What'd you say, Ray?
I like
Lost
the bear.
Man.
Apologize. I'm missing from the cross chat.
I think we all talked over each other there too.
Yeah.
I didn't hear 3 things.
Let's go with Lost Kentucky.
Lost
Tucky?
Lost Tucky.
Lost Tucky.
Lost Tucky, California, aka Howlywood.
Albuquerque.
Oh my god. Okay.
Albuquerque is pretty good. And Dan got both. Dan got both cities.
Okay.
I think Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Wow. Albuquerque / Lost Tucky, otherwise known as Hollywood these days. That's amazing.
Used to be nothing but cornfields here. Now there's cornfields and monsters.
Wonderful. So,
one thing I never liked about this town was all the goddamn vampires.
Yes, I just watched that like a month ago. So fucking good.
Oh, that's fun. All right. So one of our first big questions for Howlywood is what makes this city different from every other city? And there's several options here. One option is advanced technology. The city's infrastructure, economy, and citizenry has flourished under technology beyond contemporary expectations. There might be a dimensional rift. The city's built on a nexus between mystical realms, resulting in a strong presence of magic and mysticism. Maybe there's a lot of organized crime. The city's home to a vast network of organized crime syndicates who have exceptional influence over the city's citizenry, economy, and authorities.
And they could launder their money by making cheesy horror films.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Ooh.
that could
You
be.
could have like a pariah ghetto, like one of the city's districts or boroughs is home to a large population of people who have superpowers and are feared for it.
Oh, the albatrosses.
You could have a city that's been scarred by disaster. The city suffered some catastrophic event within the last 10 years, and the scars of that event are prominent throughout the city.
I do like me a good disaster.
California,
There's a lot of good
earthquakes.
choices.
The land in Growlywood land
Ooh,
was taken out
we
by
could
a
combine
disaster.
it. We could do
There was
an earthquake opened up like a rift to hell or some shit. And
That's what I was just gonna go for, and I was gonna call it the Great Mirthquake.
Okay, so we could do. So you want to do like the dimensional rift, but basically say like it was an earthquake, some earthquake within the past 10 years or so.
And maybe that's why monsters are so prevalent or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Hollywood was created by the Great Mirthquake.
Nice. So, yeah,
Or like,
I'll show my age.
the rift. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead.
No,
Show
you
your
first,
age.
please.
Oh, you want to show your
'cause
age,
I
though?
immediately-
Don't let me stop you from that.
I immediately think Buffy and the Hellmouth.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Hellmouth is so good.
It is.
What if the rift opened up and it's sort of, it's not like monsters like poured into the world, but like evil agents have been like using it to summon monsters to cast them in their movies, which then ties back into the
Yeah, that's perfect.
NBGC Universal.
Yeah, and
Oh
we
my God.
got loose of the
It's like almost like Doom.
indentured servitude. Yes, Argent Energy, but instead they're just getting cast members for their crappy films.
Oh my God, that's really fun. So Universal
That is
Studios
great.
is somehow a legitimate threat because they have like weird occult.
Which maybe that's why the
nonsense.
government's involved.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
their
ridiculous, and I love
agents
it.
Are agents
Yeah.
of evil?
They're destabilizing.
No, they're
I like that,
agents.
Chuck.
Agents of evil. Never mind. Sorry, I was like, did I not say it?
You
Right.
did. No, you did.
Sorry.
It just got me thinking, like, oh, they're just regular Hollywood agents.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Agents of evil.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's what they
golden.
are.
The Hollywood
Oh my
When you were
agents of
talking
evil.
about mafia, I was thinking they could be all Hollywood agents, but then the dimensional rift made way more sense.
Oh.
That's
They're talent scouts.
So
Those
one thing
20th
that-
century fucks.
which would
Yes.
explain why we have stuff to fight, is because they keep summoning more shit for
Yeah.
us to fight. That's
Yeah.
like
Yes.
terrorizing the city.
Yep. And the
I love
government
it.
doesn't know that we're actually working against these people. They think we're part of them, which is why we're outcasts.
That's wonderful. I love that so very much. So one of the things that we're going to tie into, and we can either do it now or we can come back to it a little bit later. Since we chose Dimensional Rift, one other bit of world building we're going to do together is we're going to work on describing how we want the Nether Realm to feel in our comic book setting. So do you guys want to hop over to filling out the Nether Realm now, or fill out the city stuff first and come back to it?
Let's go
I feel like we have a good hand. Go another one. Okay, I was gonna say. All right, that'll work.
Go ahead and hop over to Nether Realm. Is that what I heard?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, sweet. I'm going to go pull that up now, because that'll help us kind of get a good grip on like what's one of our core things coming out of the Hellmouth of these dimension. So we don't have to call it Hellmouth, obviously. What do you guys have like an idea for what you would want to call these weird dimensional rifts? Or
I feel like this place should be like a perfect utopia for monsters, though, and that's why we're so unhappy to be
The
pulled out of
Howling
it.
Chasm.
Ooh, the
a Howling Chasm? It is Hollywood.
It is Hollywood. That's how it got
Yeah,
its
that could be
name.
where it gets its name. Because
Okay.
of all the howls going through the woods from the chasm.
So, just for shits and giggles, if you guys want to, one of the things they like to tie in here is sometimes almost like how in comic books they'll be like, first appearance was seen in such and such. If you guys were to choose, like, what comic book do you like? What issue of a fake comic book do you think the Howling Chasm first showed up in? And you can just make up some sort of old timey comic book if you want, and we'll say that's the comic book that this first appeared in.
I was in Best Fiends number 77.
Best Fiends number 77.
That's good.
There we go. That sounds like a win right there.
It does.
Because later on, you can start getting special abilities that sort of let you tinker with continuity, like a little bit of metagamey stuff.
That's
and
fun.
so you can say, well, actually, back in Best Fiends number 77, we learned that so-and-so had a
Editor's
weakness to
note,
this.
little box.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
can do editor's notes. So yeah,
That's fun.
That's exactly what that's for. All right, what is the fundamental nature of the Netherrealm? And so we're going to have like 3 columns here, and we're going to choose one from each of the 3 columns. So
real quick before we get to anything, it's almost more fun if it's actually like a nice place and people and all the monsters are getting pulled out of it. Like we have a good community, it's real stable, the economy's good. Yep. Why are we getting pulled onto Earth?
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fun. I do dig that. And we can always tweak it. Like there's like a little truths box where we can type in our own tinkering with it. We're not completely held to these charts. So our first column is going to be the Netherrealm is a desolate, a fiery, a frozen, a jagged, an apocalyptic, or a surreal. So those are kind of our initial column of things. And I'm not sure. Are you guys able to pull up the city thing as well?
I should be able to see it. The only thing I would worry about is
me deleting everything.
Brendan, I looked at yours, and yours is saving on my end. Is it saving for you now?
I've just kept it open in case, so maybe that's why it's still filled out.
Okay. Yeah.
But it might be easier if you like opened up the city thing, and then you could. Or right now, I'm actually in Netherrealm. You could like open it so you could actually see the columns.
Okay. Are you writing all of it down, Jeremy? Are you taking notes?
Yeah.
Okay. Then if you're taking notes, then I can always update it later, so everyone can see the handout.
Best Fiends 7.
Okay, there's a zoom. All right.
I mean, for the first column, the only if we're trying to keep it positive, I mean, surreal.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what I would vote.
Okay, so
some real
surreal
Toontown kind of shit.
Mm-hmm. I see where you work across probably. So a surreal mirror world.
A surreal.
Yeah, so we got
far underground since.
Maybe the Howling Chasm opens up into Normie Wood, where they make movies about just normals.
About humans.
Sort of
oh my god, it's like the Munsters. It's like the Munsters with what's her face.
You guys are pulling up all these poor Munster people and forcing them into...
I mean, we're not doing it.
We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Bela Lugosi has a smack habit. We need a new vampire stat. Pull one from the rest.
Okay, so a surreal mirror world that's far underground, where it's like this weird opposite, like where the monsters are the normies and they make movies about
humans,
mundane.
Yeah. Because their world's so surreal that the mundane is fascinating.
About Levittown and
they have gravity.
Yeah.
So weird.
People think Marilyn Munster is
That's
like
it's
a
Marilyn
horrifying
Munster.
creature.
Yeah.
Marilyn Munster. Okay.
It's like poor Marilyn. She's so ugly.
Yeah.
She's so ugly.
I'm typing that down. Marilyn Munster. Putting that in the truth box just to keep that name.
Get an idea of what we're going for, yeah.
She's like the chasms version of Frankenstein.
Yeah, she's like Boris Karloff.
She's the iconic monster of our city.
Yeah. I love it. So, what would feel strangest to humans who happen to visit the Howling Chasm? Would it be Escher-esque geography where you've got weird, impossible objects and terrain? Is it possible that willpower bends reality when you're in there? Strong-willed individuals can warp reality with their thoughts or conjure things or change the rules of physics. We did say it's surreal. That's another option, is surreality. The Netherrealm is filled with instances of surreal creatures, objects, and locations, which all combine to make it feel like it's almost drawn from the dreams of a madman losing his grip on reality.
I do like Jeff's suggestion for that, because that plays against them thinking that normal stuff is so fascinating and strange.
I mean, yeah, we want to double down on surreal. I'm quite okay with that. Love it. Okay, let's hop on over to our next little bit.
Further down is dimensional crossroads, which is kind of interesting too.
Okay, yeah,
creatures from different dimensions would make sense too, because we're pulling up all sorts of zany monsters and such.
It's true.
The attack of a 50-foot ant and stuff like that.
And this can be kind of where you guys combined earthquake with dimensional rift. We've already got surreal from the first one. We could do surreal dimensional crossroads if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I thought
we
this
already
was...
have surreal.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize surreal was in 2 spots. My bad.
No, that's fine. Both are completely viable. But we could kind of do the best of both worlds. I'm not against this being a spot where they're, and that still fits in with the idea of it being a surreal world to them. They're used to just things from multiple realities just kind of come through. To them, that's normal. But there is no normal there. Okay. So, other than demons, what creatures inhabit this realm? We could have near humans. So you can have like humans and human-like things like elves or dwarves or fey creatures, monsters. That feels on the
like
nose, but not wrong.
Yeah, I think
like
that's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
Restless Dead, Dreaming Humans. I feel like, at least I know, if other people have ideas, I feel like it's hard to argue against monsters.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that plays into the whole vibe.
Oh my God, I'm so happy with this already. Okay. What's special about magic in the Netherrealm? Is it just overall far more powerful while it's there? Is it dangerously unpredictable? Is magic corrupting while you're in this alternate world? Or is there maybe like a steep price to try and use magic in the Howling Chasm?
Dangerously unpredictable sounds fun, but
Kind of fits with
I
everything
feel like
else.
far more powerful or a steep price.
I would lean towards one of the top two: far more powerful or dangerously unpredictable.
Mm.
Seeing as this is a surreal place with all sorts of monsters, and it's an interdimensional crossroads, like, different forms of, reality are mushing together a little bit, making things a little wonky.
Okay. I like both of those. So do we want more raw power, or do we want a little bit more chaos?
I kind of enjoyed the chaos myself.
I think that's what I
I
think
won't
it's
lie.
like expected chaos. Maybe it's like expected chaos. Like it's like, oh, I'm going to work today, and it's like, no, you're not. That building blew up last night. It's like, oh, darn it, time to look for another job. Like it's really like looks like the tentacle monster killed it. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Did you hear Lenny turned into a 50-foot ant? He does that sometimes.
Yes, exactly like that.
Nice.
Magic is mundane, but also chaotic.
Yeah. Well, it's just so commonplace in its chaos that it became mundane. Yeah.
There are insurance companies that handle it.
Magic insurance.
So we have these. I love the idea that this world full of monsters that aren't inherently evil. They're just
exactly.
What if we are agents of the insurance company there that have been sent to Hollywood to try to find out what's happening to all their clients and why they're paying out so many death claims?
It's not terrible.
Hitting too close to home, or is this
the
good?
only thing that changes is we weren't summoned to be part of that. We're going to find the monsters who have been summoned. We're like a rescue squad. Oh my God, we're rescue squad.
So you guys are from the Howling Chasm.
Yeah, we're agents of the insurance company that have been sent to figure out why all these missing people
Jeremy, is it too close to home?
No, that's awesome. So, I mean, at that point, it's almost a shared origin, not so much a shared origin of power, but you're all
you're a common purpose.
From Monsters, Inc.
Oh my God.
That's what I was thinking. Like, literally, everything's just normal because Monsters, Inc.
Oh my God.
So good. I love it.
I'm a celebrity because I'm a movie star, and I'm a movie star so I can figure out how to save these monsters.
That's so great. You guys are the monsters that have come to the real world to try and save
We're
other
the
monsters.
Maryland Monsters of the Howling Chasm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's pretty great. So we don't have to fill all these in right at the moment, but to kind of have in the back of your mind while we touch base on some other stuff, it's like there are like usually like different boroughs or districts and neighborhoods in the city as well as landmarks. So some ideas to kind of maybe muse on for Howlywood. One of the most important ones, obviously, is what's the bad neighbor? I mean, Hollywood clearly is just dangerous in its own right. But most comic book cities have the place that's like, this is where the bad stuff happens, like your Hell's Kitchen sort of place. What's the equivalent of Hell's Kitchen?
I was just gonna
Slam Town. It's where the Monstars are at.
That's where the Monstars are. I love it. I was sadly just gonna say Compton and just leave it Compton. But we can't do that. I live near Compton. I'm allowed to say that.
The Detroit district.
Oh, I love it. So, do you say Slam Town, Dan?
I sure did.
I
don't know why, but I thought of
Slam.
It's perfect.
I thought of the movie.
Let's go Slam Town.
I love it. Yeah.
I kind of what just for like a quick note for me to put it aside. Like, what's like one of the unique shticks about Slamtown? Like, why is Slamtown the worst?
Well, they figured out how to steal the monsters' powers, like the Monstars and
all of the
Space Jam.
All of the Monstars that are now too old to get cast in a Hollywood movie. That's the only neighborhood in town that they can afford housing in. So you've got all of these.
And so it's just rampant crime. It's just from
Detroit's your hometown. Oh, I'm sorry, Lich.
Yeah, it's just all these, bitter, kind of washed out.
They don't go back
Monstars.
home. They get stuck there.
Yeah.
Oh,
is
nice.
this really the origin story for Space Jam? Is that what we're building right now? The origin story for Space Jam?
So, this is where, where you're from, monsters aren't inherently evil, but a lot of the people that live in Slamtown are the ones that are just disillusioned, and they kind of have turned into what they were.
Yeah.
They've become what they were.
They've become the agents of evil.
Nice. Okay, that's fun. Commercial center? Do we want to just have that? So there's commercial center as well as financial district.
What's a pun that's spooky for Rodeo Drive or something?
Budeo Drive?
That works.
So commercial center, Budeo Drive.
Sure. I like it.
Yep, that works.
Oh my god.
Meow. I think that's a good idea.
Oh my god. Okay. So Budeo Drive. You gotta remember this is the 60s, so we can have some just out of left field nonsense. Budeo Drive. For a financial district. Should that be like someplace Studio Central or?
I think so. That's where all the big executive Hollywood offices are.
We'll call it Studio Gritty. Sorry.
Studio Gray?
Gritty. Gritty. Studio City is an actual city in Los Angeles. Is it too? It's too obvious now. That's okay.
No, I like it.
I'm down with that. Studio Gritty.
Cheers. You know more California than I do, so.
Yeah. I've been there once.
I know it's left of me
I've heard of
if
California.
I stand a certain direction. That's about it.
And again, if we're going with the idea that this is kind of like a 60s comic book team, is it that crazy that they're somebody writing something that's just like, yeah, man, we got Studio City. We're going to call this Studio Gritty. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what Stan Lee would do.
Just a bunch of young 20-something comic subversive nerds we're calling it Studio Gritty. Yeah. High five.
I hope we fight a roving band of killer beat poets and beatniks. That's all I want. I want a Carl Sandburg happening.
They'll be called the Beatniks.
We're so close to San Francisco. It should be.
I want there to be a road that runs through it called the 666, if possible.
That should be our pariahs.
You have to call it the 666.
Well, so we've got a couple more sections of town, and we also have landmarks too. So we still have more parts of town as well as landmarks. I'm writing old 66 down. I'm writing that. We'll find a place to put that. What about an old part of town? So the next ones, there's old part of town, quiet suburb, and trendy neighborhood.
Well, it would be. Sorry, I'm gonna go too meta. I have to shake out of it because the Hollywood Hills is technically where's the trendy district is Hollywood Hills.
About the quirky corners.
Quirky Corners.
How about the Hollywood Kills?
Or the Holly. Well, no.
Hollywood
I thought
Kills.
about that
Yeah,
too.
that's what I
And
meant.
thought about the
Hollywood
Hollywood
Shills.
Thrills as well. Maybe.
Shills.
Hollywood Thrills. Oh my god, all these are so good.
Is that what we want
Shills
for?
could be the financial district.
What's that?
Ooh.
Shills.
The Shills
Yeah.
could be the financial district.
Hollywood
the
Shills is the
Hollywood
financial.
Shills.
So okay, so we'll switch. So Studio Gritty or Hollywood. Sorry.
Studio Gritty could be trendy neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Okay, I'll switch trendy neighborhood to Studio Gritty.
I've been trying to fit Los Feliz in here somewhere, and I just can't. Like, I keep trying to put Los Feliz in somewhere. It's just not happening.
And what was the descriptor in front of Shills?
Hollywood.
The Hollywood Shills.
I think it was
Hollywood
just the
Shills.
Hollywood Shills. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, Hollywood Shills for financial district. Love it. Okay. Then we've got trendy neighborhood of Studio Gritty. Quirky Corners, was that like the suburb or old part of town, do you think?
I was thinking I was thinking more the old part of town, considering
That's the
you know,
old name.
right.
What was it again? I'm
Okay.
sorry, I completely spaced. What was it called?
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that could be the quirky corners.
Yeah. So back when it was still just Albuquerque, they have the Quirky Corners.
Yeah.
Weird things used to happen. Didn't know it was because there was rift leaking out.
Back in my day, the corners used to
gosh.
mean something.
Do we all have to do like the transatlantic accent for our characters?
I can't.
We
You
gotta
don't.
We have 2 weeks to practice.
Yeah.
I can barely
You can
talk
if you
like
want.
myself.
I'm a cat.
I'm a cat. I can't say it.
Oh my god.
I'll just do right.
Back in my
I'm
day,
Big
dogs
Father-in-law.
had 6 legs.
Now listen here.
Oh,
I got 2 tails for you, and only one of them's attached to my body.
I'm gonna break every session. Okay.
You're gonna have to sit down for the second.
I like how we were
Okay.
supposed to sit down and come up with this serious, spooky.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I knew ahead of
that
time
went.
that this wasn't gonna be scary. This was gonna be like
Hey.
supernatural.
Yeah.
I take everything seriously, okay?
Yeah, you do. So how about a nice quiet suburb? Just,
Quiet little town.
What's our most normal place of Hollywood? I think that's what it's got to be. The most normal, like disconnected.
There's like, never mind.
it's
I
okay. If
gotta
you
say
got
it.
something, put it out
Gotta say
there.
it.
Well, it should be something involving Orange County or something. Like, I mean, I did put
29 comms.
I
What
did
was
put-
the-
Orange County. It's
What
the
about-
most quiet place.
Sliver
Orange
Lakes.
County.
What's the number of palms
Sliver
thing?
Lakes, like
What's that
Silver
place?
Lake. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh,
Sliver Lakes.
There's Palms, there's Century City, there's Long Beach. I put Malibu in chat, but with the BOO.
There's 29 palms,
That's
right?
good. I didn't see that.
29 comms, like quiet, trendy.
29
quiet.
I don't know about that. I just know about Palms. Maybe there's something, a number in front of it that I don't know.
I'm open to whatever you guys like the most.
It's also Santa Monica. We haven't even touched on. Oh my god, we haven't
I'm
even touched
voting
on
on
Santa
Sliver
Monica.
Lakes because I've heard of that place before.
Sliver Lake.
Yeah.
I like it. 'cause
It's a
it
pretty
immediately-
chill place too. That's where I knew somebody who lived there who grew chickens in Silver Lake. So
I only
didn't grow raise chickens. You don't grow chickens. I'm sorry.
I immediately thought of chickens growing out of the earth as someone that has also raised chickens.
Did you guys see that there's now
Two
a
people said
Two people
McDonald's
said
Shiver
Shiver
Lake.
Lake.
Nugget
Two
Yeah.
people said Two people said
I
Shiver
didn't
Lake.
hear you, Chuck.
That's
Oh,
good.
Shiver
Sorry.
Lake. Okay,
Ooh,
Shiver Lake is good.
There we go.
You're a little backed off your mic, Chuck, so you're a little quiet.
Your
man.
mom was backed off my mic. That was inappropriate.
Whoa.
Better choke up on that mic there, Chet.
Heyo.
I was just going to mention that McDonald's has a chicken nugget body pillow now.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Unrelated to everything. It just popped in my head.
Does it come in a Happy Meal or?
No, that's what you
You
make
gotta
happen.
probably buy
You have
100
to-
Happy Meals and then
you have to pay
Fishy.
like a token
Hey.
from them.
You have to pay extra for the Happy Meal.
Yeah, you have to provide your own sweet and sour sauce.
That's separate from the body pillow.
Not for long, it isn't.
You gotta buy enough chicken nuggets to fill it before they give it to you.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, that's incredible.
All right. So down
It's
in
just a normal
landmarks,
body pillow
Mhm.
with nuggets in it.
I do see there's a category where I can just add one. I'm putting old 666 as a landmark just because.
It has to be the 666 because like the 405.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
for some
the
reason people
666.
always put the in front of the
yeah.
the interstate. It's like
Okay.
a
Oh, yeah.
California
Okay, so
thing.
that would be where you get from the suburbs into the city proper,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Of
the
course.
big
Gotta go down
highways,
to
the
666.
It's also the
Perfect.
most hellish road that you could drive on.
Yeah, the
Just
traffic
like
is
the
flush.
405.
That's
Giant
real
spiders
life.
just come out of the hills nearby and random horrible things. Yes. Proper. Okay. Wonderful. So
A 50-foot woman broke free of the studio sector today and
oh my
stopped
god.
traffic for 9 hours.
I'm so happy.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So
Do we
good.
have like a particular government building that we want to be prominent? Like if something were to happen at a government building, what's one that would be important to this city, or in this comic at least?
City Howl.
Oh my gosh.
It's so dumb. We got to put it in. Like,
have to do it.
Okay, City Howl. Yeah. I feel the vibe of where this is going, and I'm there for it.
As soon as
So
you said
City
60s,
Howl.
as soon as you
How
said
about a
60s,
historic
I knew what
building?
we were doing.
Yeah. What's a good historic building for Hollywood?
What's
So like
the
a particular.
I don't want to like double down on the boo thing with a boozeum, but
how about just an old mausoleum?
okay? So
Okay.
Oh, what about the observatory? The observatory is a
the observatory is a real thing. Yeah,
yeah.
So
it's one of the few
Griffin.
places I saw.
It's just aimed
Albuquerque.
right down the Howling Chasm.
Library Mel. That's Melissa.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Ooh.
Albuquerque's in New Mexico, so we could call it, the Boo Mexico City Howl or something like that. I don't know. I'm just grasping.
That's okay. I will put City Hall. I'll
I
put
love
Boo
it.
Mexico next to it just to make note of that, because I respect it.
I do. I do. I
So
do respect
historic building. I heard a couple things. I heard observatory. Would we want to toss on like some little thing with observatory?
Hmm. Yeah, I was
Like,
just throwing that. So technically, it's the Griffith Observatory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So. I'm
How
just
about the
waiting for everybody to say
Grift?
something.
How about the Griftith Observatory?
Grifted Observatory?
Yeah.
Or just Griffin.
It
Yeah,
was
Griffin
the
Observatory.
Griffith Observatory, but then actual griffins took it over. Now it's just the Griffin's Nest.
The Griffin's Nest Observatory.
Oh my god.
Excellent.
So we're just gonna write this as a comic series, I think.
I'm so happy. All right. Iconic skyline feature. Is it the Hollywood sign?
Or
do we
it's
want
a
something-
50-foot woman roaming around.
Yes. She's like the mysterious stranger. She just shows up at the wrong times. She's just like trying to like collect her car keys or giant car keys that fell somewhere, and she.
But she's
steps
got
up.
to be like really. She's got to be a lot bigger than 50 foot though. I
Well,
mean,
the skyline is a giant golden monolith because it's actually like her cigarette case. You dropped it, and she hasn't been able to find it since.
I am putting down. There's categories for other. I'm putting down 50-foot woman with mundane difficulties. Like just always in the background somewhere. Like
Hey,
What if
Welcome,
the
20 sides
monsters-
to every story,
Thanks
rating
for that
us.
raid.
Hello.
Oh, thank you.
Great.
Yeah, hey.
Hi.
nice.
What if
Hello.
what if the monsters that are stolen from the rift live in her giant cigarette case as like a tenement building for all the monsters behind the studio?
But that have to be in
She
Slam
dropped
Town,
it
then.
in Slamtown.
Yeah,
That's why
that's-
it got its name because
It's slammed
slammed down
down.
into the ground.
Yeah, exactly. We're all thinking the same thing here.
Yeah.
Okay, so iconic skyline feature is her like giant cigarette case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's now to the tenement buildings in Slamtown.
Yeah, but
So-
she's like a 500-foot person.
That's
I think.
fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
At one point, she dropped a contact, and the woods caught fire from the sun.
It's now a public pool.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
a contact she dropped.
It's actually they just skateboard in it.
Oh, that's it.
The skate park. I like that
Yeah,
better.
it's
This
the
is
Could
skate
also
pool.
be. It could also be the Shiver Lake.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
there you go.
I love so much that the 50-foot woman is having such an impact on the environment.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. At this
God
point,
damn
she's
it.
probably more than 50 foot.
Like
It's
Yeah,
just like
500-foot
Yeah,
woman.
she's gonna be the 500-foot woman or something.
okay.
Her name's
Uh,
Carol.
The
There's
day
a
her head
magnitude
just
larger.
comes over the horizon. It's
don't
like, oh my god.
You don't summon a 50-foot woman and not expect to deal with some repercussions.
That's right.
That's delightful. we've got? I assume there's probably some sort of sports arena here.
Oh, they have to color the 50-foot woman because they use her like forced perspective. She's like way out there, so she looks.
Oh yeah,
it could be the LA Quakers, like they're quaking in their boots. Spooky. I don't know. That's
I was trying to
basketball
think,
team.
like, what's
Oakland Raiders. Sorry,
just the Oakland Raiders. Hollywood bought the Oakland Raiders.
back from Las Vegas.
Perfect.
we just steal the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, it's
all
just
this
the
other
Oakland
nonsense, but we
Raiders.
just steal like a regular.
The one, they're the constant. Is the Oakland
500-foot
Raiders.
woman just went in there.
Dude,
and
their
scooped
logo's a
up.
skull. I mean, why not?
Just leaned over, scooped up the Oakland Raiders, put them back in.
So I would like to put out
Feels
there.
right to me.
I would like to name the 500-foot woman Karen.
Okay.
And when the city needs her to do something, they just bribe her with like swimming pools of pumpkin spice latte.
Do you feel seen, Ray? Do you feel seen?
Do you like pumpkin spice? Not lattes. I do like pumpkin spice flavoring.
He just
Butter
likes
some
dry
10-foot
pumpkin
tall
spice on
Uggs.
his tongue.
I just snort it.
That's it.
Feels
It's a
good.
big old
The-
water tower of pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, the fucking donut shop I go to has pumpkin spice donuts.
You know, if you
Fall rolls
coat
around.
your lungs with pumpkin spice, the coronavirus just doesn't even get in.
Oh, I
there.
thought you were talking about
You're
just
kidding,
rubbing it on your
really?
chest.
Yeah, I was like,
So I was sitting
you're
there-
violating some TOS over there.
Yeah.
my lungs.
I was
Aw,
just
yeah.
sitting there with some pumpkin spice on my titties.
Yeah, I'm the one violating terms of service. Fuck you guys.
Something's getting violated around here. I don't like
Oh
it.
my god! Is
You
it
know,
the pumpkin spice? I'm so
Before
afraid.
this session started, I told myself today we're gonna have a 500-foot woman named Karen and pumpkin spice titties, and I'm glad it came
And
true.
by God, we got there.
It's not pumpkin spice lattes. It's pumpkin spice tatas.
Oh, okay. So tallest building in the city.
I killed
God.
Chuck.
Killed me.
Can it be the NBGC Universal building?
That's right.
Because that's the
GC
Yeah,
Universal
the-
Studio. Or
what was it again?
Universal-
The something bad guys corporation.
I forget. It was so long ago. So many puns from everyone have happened. I can't
have to-
remember.
We're gonna have to watch the replay of this to remember what it was that we
Oh.
said.
Yeah. Okay. So the NBGC Universal Studio has they've got like the tallest building in the city.
Now broadcasting Ghoul City. I don't know. Just trying
Yeah.
to come up with something with NBGC.
So what would be like the major tourist attraction that would bring outsiders to Hollywood?
The 500-foot tall woman.
The Walk of Flame. The Hollywood Walk of Flame.
Instead of
Okay.
fame, I like it. It's just tortured souls that have come up from the rift. Just say,
Or-
put me back home.
Yeah.
Or
yes.
Karen dropped her lighter and it depressed the button and no one knows how to shut it off.
No one's strong enough.
It's still got about 5,000 gallons worth of lighter fuel in there.
Are you
my
strong
God.
enough to stop my flame?
I'm
Oh
making a
my
little note to the
God.
side of it from Karen's lighter question mark.
We have so many things to fix
Wow.
about this town. We gotta
This
get Karen to
town
come back to
is-
the rift with us. I
That's
think
exactly-
Karen fit in.
What if Karen is missing and she's one of the ones that we have to find the 500-foot tall woman? How do you lose a 500-foot tall woman, Jim?
I love it. Oh my god, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we
I love that
assumed
line.
she moved. And we lost her.
The local economy's in the shitter. Everybody came to see her.
Oh my god. Okay. So on page 2 of the city sheet, the top left has a section where we pick 2 or 3 words that we feel best describe how the city feels. So there's things like, anachronistic, bustling.
Sticky.
Sticky.
Is sticky an
It
option?
doesn't have to be on there. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, but I
Feels
respect
Can
it.
be.
Bottom of
Again,
Karen's
I see
shirt,
there's a truth
apparently.
box, and I'm just going to type in sticky.
You don't have to. Everybody else can say if they want sticky or not. I don't care.
I think it's sticking around.
I'm willing to just at
I'm
least
getting
type it
kind
in
of
here.
attached to it. Yeah.
Air is humid from all of Karen's sweat evaporating
You too,
into
Jeff?
the air.
You too, Jeff?
Yeah.
Really? You too? Okay. All right. Okay. I
Okay.
see how it is.
All right.
I see how it is.
Fitting
It's
Let's
fitting
see.
in.
We've got wealthy, verdant, towering, sprawling, rundown,
I mean,
towering.
Karen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be towering.
Towering. Is it overcrowded, oppressive, or is it maybe dystopian?
I would say Slamtown definitely is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. I'm not on the right page. That's why I'm not seeing this.
Do we feel like it's a fairly wealthy city? Is it bustling, like really busy?
I would think it's wealthy and bustling. I mean, it's the cornerstone of an entire genre of cinema with a lot of tourists and people hoping to get in on the action. Like
we could have named the city Tromaville.
Oh man.
Well, you know
I
what?
love Tromaville, but we got something good.
I know.
We can fit in something trauma themed.
We got harrowing and snooty in chat. Harrowing and snooty.
I think those do fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of snooty people, a lot of the rich people.
Yeah.
Basically treating baristas who had hopes of being actors.
And thanks to Karen's Lighter, we also have snooty people.
I literally just thought of like a totally normal looking barista, like all these baristas who are like during their breaks in the back room, they're going like, okay, I'm practicing the script. And like they're like, rawr, and like they're making like monster noises because all the roles are for monsters.
I just haven't been cast in anything for months.
This is so delightful. This is absolutely.
Are they
sure this was going to go?
Oh,
no.
Could be. or baristas are in the rift.
Or maybe if Jeff has something to say about it, maybe they're bearistas. Like anthropomorphic bears.
There you go.
That like if you give them too much grief about your order, they will just maul your face.
They put honey in all the orders.
Tip well. Yeah.
They put honey in everything.
Tip is not optional.
Like that with honey? Excuse me, I just got a cup of honey.
Please tip them.
And we're going to that new girly bar, Growlers.
Feed the bears.
They're baristas because they put honey in everything. I'm sorry.
I like it. I dig
it. Can I get a pumpkin spice latte? Does a bear shit in the woods?
Yes.
Maybe. Not it's coffee shop. There's a whole separate bathroom just for that.
Yeah. It is forest themed, however.
It's just wood themed. You go inside.
Large, fancy, fuck it, I'll get a Karen.
Yeah, I'll get a Karen. Yes, they call large coffees Karens. Oh my.
Hey, I don't have a care in the world as long as I have a large coffee.
Oh my god.
It's so big.
It's like when you get the giant Quick Trip mugs that are like this.
Yeah.
Like the
you have to get special cup holders in your car.
Gallon.
They rent wagons so you can get them.
Does an owlbear shit all over your car?
Oh my God, it does.
All right. So in the city of Hollywood, how often do superpowered villains, or they don't know how, we call them villains, but okay, superpowered villains. How often do super things happen here? Is it just like all the freaking time? Is it almost like villain of the week? Like there's always something happening. Is it something like where they show up every few months, or is it rare to have supers?
I want to say that there's like a police force that can handle just normal things, like a monster just like totally snaps and is like, I'm done with everything. And then the cops can handle it. But then occasionally like a giant spider happens, and then that's where we come in.
Remember, we're there to save the monsters, like for the most part. And so like maybe it's when a movie comes out or something, or like a new feature film comes out, and like we're like, or we're exposed to like whenever a movie is being made, and we get that information, and then we go from place to place to find it. So
kind of maybe we'll go with maybe the medium option.
Yeah.
Like there are more like mundane monstrous things here and there, but as far as like the actual super stuff, that's not all the time. Like you said, there's a police force that can deal with things. Okay, so
they've kind of kept them in one part of the city.
Moderate to rare is
except for when Karen stomps through the city.
Yeah.
Karen doesn't like squishing little things.
Well, that's why they had to
go pick up her
She's
stuff.
looking for her lighter, for God's sake. I mean,
she lost her contact already, so she can't see.
She can't see.
Would you say Karen careens through the city?
Oh my god.
Careens. Oh my god.
So here's another good costume, and this is largely about you. It can be about other heroes too, but I think it's meant to kind of focus on you guys to some extent. How does the general public feel about powered heroes? Are they great? They're role models to be admired. Do people just love you? Does the public maybe respect you but warily?
I think that's okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Or is it these so-called heroes are a menace?
I feel like these so-called movie monster actors are a menace. They're taking all the jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
kind of leaning.
Yeah,
People see them. Sorry, go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
No, that's good.
No, you
ahead.
go. I'm going to talk over you. No, you. No, you.
Vaping now. It's too late.
I know you can talk with vape in your mouth. Go.
I was gonna say, like, in the locality, they're stealing jobs and they're hated, but maybe like across the country, they are revered movie stars. So there's this push-pull, right?
Okay, but in your hometown,
Yes, they're bad.
okay,
They're the menace.
They
What were you
wreck
gonna say,
the
Jen?
place. They take all our jobs.
I was
They
going to
took
say,
our
like,
gerbs.
maybe they're seen also as, like, leading these glamorous lives, but they're not. They're actually, like, caged monsters. So, like,
Mhm.
So the studio
People-
system takes shots of them doing fun things and get back in your cage.
like
Yeah,
doing
so-
monster cocaine and then, like, distributes it to the media. Yeah, I know.
So the average person kind of has like a weird sort of resentment
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
them. Okay.
Like human actors with makeup and acting could do what these guys do, but it's just cheaper to coke up some monsters from the chasm.
Amazing. Okay, so we've kind of got.
They don't have any rights. Put them back into Slamtown.
So that's how the general public feels about you. They're not a big fan of you guys. Next up is we already know, and we could potentially change something from earlier, but the next section is kind of like, how do the authorities feel about you? Do the authorities, like, think police or government agents or things like that, do they feel like you guys render a noble service? They kind of respect you. Or maybe do they feel like, okay, you guys are loose cannons. You're doing the good work, but like you're playing fast and loose.
I would say the government has a tacit agreement with the mobsters that run the movie studios that like you keep these things under wraps, everything's fine, because you're putting so much money back into the government, But
Gotcha.
because we're on the lam and not part of that system, we represent a threat.
Okay, so there's the third option. Basically, most of these have like good, medium, bad. So the third option is, do the authorities basically treat you like they're all criminals? Vigilantism is a crime. Those powered individuals answer to no one, and the heroes are just as guilty as the villains. So it's clearly a corrupt system, but
I feel like it's got to be cannons or criminals.
I like the loose cannon, I think, a little bit more, because we have to be, monsters have to be incorporated somehow, because the economy's built off of it. But, like, maybe the police look like
they're largely under control.
Yeah, like, you're going to go off one of these days and, maul some poor lady's face at the dry cleaners.
It's great. Yeah, we've seen you guys do this and that, but all it's going to take is one bad day.
Yeah.
Somebody steps on your tail and you Wolverine on them. No.
Pretty much. All right, and then last minute, so we've got how the public. So the public hates you. The authorities tolerate you. How about the media? How does the media feel about you?
Boy, I feel like we'd have to be like celebrities.
Yeah, like
you know what the top option is?
What's
celebrities.
Yeah.
Newspapers and the nightly news are filled with coverage of the hero's exploits. Tabloids run stories filled with gossip about costumed hero relationships and just all sorts of nuts.
Yeah, although not necessarily about us, I suppose. It'd probably be about monsters in general.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it about us or is it about monsters overall?
It's mostly meant to represent, it's a little bit about, it's about powered heroes. Okay. Like, how does the media portray powered heroes in this region? Ooh. Mostly it applies to you because it's going to impact what your starting media reputation is.
Yeah, I think we want a bad media reputation. I think the media is working with the cops.
Yeah, and the mob, like we represent a threat.
I think it could be like on a national level, though. On a national level, people appreciate what we do because if things go horribly wrong in this town, they go horribly wrong everywhere. So we're kind of seen as the people containing this thing.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, that's a question to frame it then. Is it like more local media then, or?
It's meant to be sort of like, it's a little abstract. You can kind of twist it out a little bit, but like if we were doing a Batman story, we'd be thinking like, how does the media portray Batman? Or if we were doing a Spider-Man story, how does the media portray Spider-Man
and that's
in
all
New York?
super local. Usually,
it's usually meant to be somewhat local, but it can be abstracted a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go with
I could see us being the villains, locally, because we're trying to get the monsters away.
Well, maybe to the public we're heroes because, the monsters flip out and then they start ruining everything for everybody else. But then we come in and sort of contain the situation, and so they think we're cool. But
I don't know. I like the idea of like us being the ones to really keep things in line, and NBGC being the people to be like, monsters are evil, like you should fear them and be scared of them. Look at Karen. Like
what if we have Commissioner Gore done and he's the one cop that's on our side?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Let me
like
go
everybody
over to
else doesn't like us, but like the people who are trying to do good
okay.
things.
Yeah, so he knows the department's corrupt and Commissioner Gore done, is on our side.
He has a secret phone that nobody else knows about.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh man.
Well, that might be dipping back to authorities, but
When it rings, it shrieks.
So maybe that's why you. So for the most part, everybody hates you, but the authorities are at middling level because of Commissioner Gordon. But outside of Commissioner Gordon, overall, you guys are largely disdained.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you are the Monster Squad. Not every superhero team is very well liked. That is okay. Excellent.
He calls us on the bad phone.
Yeah.
The bad phone? That's fantastic.
The bad phone.
Okay, let me go add that into Commissioner Gordon. The bad phone.
Remember when you thought we were gonna play a game tonight? we're just doing all the world building.
Well, that's what Session Zero normally is.
Good.
You make your
It's good.
characters. It's one of my favorite parts about the game.
Oh my god, I love that. The bad phone is a rotary, and the numbers randomly rearrange.
All right. Now, here's kind of a tough one.
I love it.
How often do superheroes die in the line of duty? How lethal do we want this comic book to be? And it works a little bit two ways. Like, if you say, oh, no, nobody ever dies, but you guys are constantly murdering people, it's going to shift over to that.
It's a little bit of give and take where,
dying.
if they got to play nice, we got to play nice.
So, like, we've played this a couple times now, Jeremy, and I don't think we've ever had a superhero die, right?
No, I've had several times where I've played in a few games where heroes go down.
Yeah.
Unless you do the all the time, like there's basically it affects if a hero can get knocked to zero, but that doesn't automatically kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, depending upon how often you want death to happen in this comic book world, that impacts the conditions of the difference between a hero getting knocked out and a hero legitimately getting killed.
Well, so my first thought is this is the 60s and the Silver Age comic tone kind of matches what a lot of the goofy stuff we're doing is, where there's not a lot of death. Like Marvel did that a little, but it was rare. So that's kind of my gut, but at the same time, we are monsters. I don't know. How does everybody feel?
We're here to save the other monsters.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like we're talking them down from their destruction and trying to get them back into the rift.
We want to get them back in.
But
So
we're
like the
also
people
working against the crime syndicate.
But maybe they aren't superheroes. Maybe they're just the crime syndicate.
Yeah.
And maybe their main powers, they repurpose monsters to attack us, and we have to like convince them. Like
so
we have to like
that's where I was going. Is maybe there are some bad aligned monsters as well who are part of the mob and are in on the
brainwashed.
It's worth it for them to stay.
And that's
exactly.
That's where the evil talent agents, the agents of evil, try
they keep them hopped up on booger sugar.
Okay,
I feel like it happens every now and then.
Yeah. Well, I just like the idea that
how will I die in the end?
It's the only way we can prevent it is by not letting anyone die.
So for the most part, it's a little bit four color, but because we are dealing with supernatural monster stuff, it does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's not common by any means.
Yeah. Because we don't want them to die. We will try be like, my guess is we'll be trying to subdue any monsters that come at us to fight us, any super powered monsters. Yeah.
Just whether we can.
What if in canon the longer a monster is outside of the rift, the more feral they get, which is why the studios cut them loose eventually, and we have to get them back home to save them.
That.
Okay.
Oh my god, I love that.
Which also presents a danger for us. We have to go back to the rift once in a while.
Nice. Yeah, that's good.
I love that so much. So
that wipes away all of our conflict about them being good.
Yeah, that could just be nutty at that point.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I used to be a dishwasher in the rift. I'm a king here. I can fly.
All right. So, I mean, we've honestly gotten quite a bit done. You guys have kind of gotten a general idea of the powers you want, the identities you have, the archetypes you want to use. We've established that we're a Monster Squad team in this just completely gonzo, Hollywood, corrupt studio monster summoning city. That's just delightful. So I'm going to kind of circle back around because I'm curious to hear, like, how did people prioritize their powers? So let's
I can answer that.
Okay, go for it, buddy.
Yeah, I went with Avatar. Hang on,
Okay.
where's my character sheet? I went with load up character sheet. Shape shifting was my number 1.
Sweet.
Super toughness was my number 2.
Cool.
And telepathy was my number 3.
Excellent. So because super toughness is a standard power, let me take a quick look at the sheet for how many hero points you get there. You always, if you take 3 powers, you have that bottom space on the lower right of that second sheet. Yeah. You always get at least 1 hero point.
All right.
Because super toughness is a standard power or a basic power, that'll give you another one. So what that means is you're going to have 2 hero points per conflict. Okay. Anytime you go into a fight, you'll have 2.
Cool.
And those are the things that let you, use
real quick.
Team
so
abilities.
If we take one of the gray ones, it doesn't count against our hero thing. We could have 3 and still get the extra point.
Yeah. So on the second page of your archetype sheets, you'll see on the right side.
I can't open my archetype sheet anymore.
When is it?
Occultist.
Is it minimized?
Do you have anything at the top? Like
I've got at home and scene.
At home and scene. Oh no.
So you can
from the right hand side. Right hand side, you should go to the actors directory.
Right.
So upper right hand, and then in the list under superheroes, that's where you should find. Would you say it was? Occultist?
Yeah, but I can't open it.
You may have it open.
Yeah,
it might be. I almost made that mistake earlier because I had it minimized, and then
If you double click on the name, it turns into just a little gray box.
With the like Roll20.
Yeah, just like Roll20. Yeah.
So you might look for that.
A gray box where?
Just somewhere on the screen. It pretty much appears wherever your sheet was.
Worst case, you can refresh and try and open it again.
I did, but it's not working.
Did it open up a window that didn't look like the character sheet, or nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
Odd.
Yeah.
Although while we're looking at that, I do kind of have the same question. Is there a merit to not having a third power versus taking like one of the standard powers and having the same amount of hero points?
So basically, on the right side of that second sheet, you'll see like it's almost like if you have the actual box set, there's like little cards that you would slot into your sheet, and you'll see spots that you would normally slide in your card. And so like if you only had a superpower and no lesser power or minor power, if you have a blank spot in the lesser power category, that's 2 hero points. If you have a blank spot in the minor power category, 2 hero points. And you always get at least 1. There's always at least 1 freebie hero point.
Which is that bottom one then.
Exactly. Now, the thing is with the basic powers, the gray powers, they give you 1 hero point.
Instead of 2.
So it's not quite as good as having an empty slot but it lets you have a power, but also a hero point. So it's a little bit of a trade-off.
Happy medium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if you were to take 2 powers and one of them was gray, you would start with 4 hero points.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Actually, you might even start off. Yeah, exactly.
Should I just type it in? Should I just type that into the character sheet? Like the.
Yeah, that'd
Okay.
be perfect.
Cool.
I'm just gonna close Chrome and try again.
All right, so we've got our groovy avatar. Let's see. So did you go for our doctor? Did you go supernatural entity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm supernatural entity.
Which powers were you going for?
So I'm choosing summoning as my superpower and necromancy as my lesser power.
Nice.
And that's it.
Cool. So because you left your minor power empty, you'll get 3 hero points per fight.
Cool.
Just pretty nice.
Nice.
That is a lot.
I'm gonna just be spending time floating around healing everybody.
Oh, do you have healing?
Woo! Yeah, I do. It's my top skill.
Oh, it's my top skill. Okay.
Nice.
But I mean, I'm going to be generating creatures that I will be healing as well. So
I have a companion that I'm healing.
we're good.
There's a
self-centered healers.
and the supernatural entity, in a weird way, actually gives you an extra power built in. You've got that second sight at 70%.
See into the spirit realm.
Yeah, that's really useful.
Ooh.
All righty.
Points per conflict 3.
Oh, no, that's interesting. Okay, sorcery does get a cool power.
I think sorcery lets you kind of like swap out your powers.
I can change out my powers. I can, in between scenes, draw 5 cards and swap powers.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
Okay. This is more appealing even than it was before.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Oh, you can replace any roll. So you can basically draw 5 cards and you're like, do I like these better than what I've got? Maybe, maybe not. And you just
throw them out if I don't like them.
That's pretty cool. Well, what are your default powers that you're on?
I'm doing the animate objects and life drain to start with.
Cool. Animate objects is the primary.
Yep.
And life drain. Cool. So you're leaving the minor one empty?
For now.
Cool. That would give you'd always start each fight with 3 hero points.
Yep.
All right. Friendin is looking super serious, so I'll give him a minute.
No, you're good. So essentially, I'm a familiar.
Cool.
I picked Companion Bat as my primary since Jen has healing 2, and my lesser is healing, so I'll start with 3 hero points because I just have 2. But my getting around is ride. I'm small enough to perch or cling onto something else, and I'm going to ride my Companion Bat. So my companion is my mode of transport.
Nice.
So is it like a giant bat?
Yes. Yeah. Good. Like a nice size. I'm a little cat. It's a big bat. My superhero name is Catastrophe. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Oh my god. Okay. So man, so what's fun about having your bat at 80% is like it's going to get its own. It'll do kind of whatever you want it to do at 80%. And its little special ability is a lot of fun. Like every other turn, it can do a team attack. Like its cooldown thing is you can use your bat to do a team up attack with another hero.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's going to pick people up and do crazy things because it's a big ass bat.
That's wonderful. A cat riding a bat. That feels about right for this comic.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff, what do you got going on?
Definitely number 1 is going to be animal manifestations. I'm sort of still torn a little bit between illusions and I look back at my common power and I have like seismic energy control, so I can literally make little earthquakes. And since like we're doing things in California with earthquakes, I thought that was kind of interesting. So
it's fun.
I'm not sure yet. Not really sure.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then, how are things going for you, Jake?
Well, I'm still trying to. I'm I'm wondering how each of these powers would work in their individual bases, because none of them are really attacks per se.
So you can, a lot of times, if you can flavor it in a certain way, you can finagle things. Which powers did you have again, or which ones are you aiming for?
I was aiming towards teleportation, darkness manipulation, and time manipulation.
I mean, so a good example that they give in the book is like, can something that's not obviously an attack power be used as part of your attack roll? And, for example, think Nightcrawler.
Right.
His teleportation isn't directly the attack, but he's using that as his fighting style to some extent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
in that case, I'll put teleportation top, darkness manipulation 60, and then for 50, time manipulation.
Yeah. So like teleportation, you can't just say I hit him with my teleportation. But if you describe it as like, well, I'm bamfing around and I, pop up behind him and
teleports behind you, nothing personnel, kid. And then that's when I hit him with my authentic katana from the Home Shopping Network.
Ooh.
That's amazing.
It never dulls, just like my wits.
Well, because you're a celebrity, so you just steal stuff off the sets.
Yeah. I hit him with a sacred tome or a candlestick or something.
That's wonderful.
So your character's Professor Mustard in the library.
Yes. I can be in the library. I can be in the study. I can be anywhere.
You could be in the kitchen.
Oh. Right. Yeah, I feel like we've got a pretty fun group of characters with some crazy abilities. A fun city, a fun team. Anybody? So we've got catastrophe. Okay.
Meow.
You feel anything?
I think he's gonna say like meow daddy-o all the time. I think is gonna be his thing since the 60s.
Oh boy. Okay. And if folks don't have hero names off the top of their head, that's totally cool. Sometimes it's nice to have some time to let it simmer.
Oh, I hadn't thought. Like, I know because I'm the avatar, right? I'm like, what am I the avatar of? I'll be the avatar of the supernatural entity Kashi the Deathless, as to be seen, and Dan dies in the end, volume 2.
Okay.
Also, because all of my shit kind of deals with not dying. I got super toughness, my resistance is invulnerability, and I've got immortal as my avatar ability.
Okay.
I haven't come up with a name yet, though.
That's cool.
Yeah, I haven't figured out what my name's going to be yet either. Maybe we'll have to have a brainstorming session for horrible hero names.
Yeah,
but what if your name
like...
is just James Cameron?
Mine's
Matt Damon.
I think mine's gonna be I don't know. I was gonna do Spectre Surgeon or Surgeon Spectre.
Honestly, that fits for that era.
Yeah.
Surgeon Spectre's got a good sound to it.
Yeah,
Surgeon Spectre. Yeah.
The alliteration. Yep.
That feels like something from the 60s. Surgeon Spectre. And then also, since you guys are from, this monstrous mirror world, you can kind of describe yourselves as being sort of whatever you want. Like, we've got a cat riding a bat. Is Surgeon Spectre ghostly? Are you? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Spirit. I'm choosing my vulnerability as ghastly transformation, so I become visibly frightening when I'm manifesting my powers. And I took on incorporeal form, so like I'm basically just a ghost that summons other ghosts and raises things from the dead.
That's cool.
I'm like the MLM of like evil creatures. I'm at the top of the pyramid.
I'm familiar with a familiar, so I'm feeling you.
And I'm just gonna float. Like I float. I don't have legs. That's how I get around. I don't fly. I don't fly, but I hover. Hover is probably. Like
Oh,
you
how
could
does
tie a
every-
rope around me, and I would just like woo, like if I were
You've got
attached to a car
the
or something.
useless object boots of levitation that are the same as being
Yes.
on the ground, but appear to be
Yes.
levitating.
How does everybody feel about my weakness being marked other and it just being tuna?
Or lasers. Can it be
Oh,
lasers?
yeah.
Lasers.
Was there lasers?
Where like you like jump on
in
like
the 60s?
like
I mean, so
lasers,
basically,
like
it's
little laser
compulsion
pointers.
issues.
Yeah, exactly. Cat toys and tuna.
Yeah, this game does a lot of stuff a little bit more narratively. Like it doesn't get too much in like, oh, you can't hurt this person because of that. Just like, okay, you have so many points of resistance or hit points. You kind of choose to describe why you have that hit point pool. You don't run into too many things that just outright say, oh no, I'm immune to what you're doing. That doesn't come up too much. It's meant to be kind of loosey-goosey and fun, which fits pretty well if we're doing old school style comics.
So I was thinking. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you first, man.
I was just gonna say, like, I was thinking for my like regular name.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Barry Grant.
Okay.
Because Cary Grant, Hollywood
Yeah.
actor.
Is a
Oh yes,
bear.
please.
Yeah, and I still haven't quite figured out the superhero one. But I have a
Are
couple
you
ideas.
somewhat anthropomorphic, Barry?
So sort of like I just like I tap into different animal manifestations, and I think like I just like the bear the most, so that's the one I go into the most.
Does your appearance kind of change depending upon the animal that you've summoned or the aspect that you've taken on?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's what it is. Like that's what the manifestation ability is.
Cool.
It's like I basically can tap into any animal.
Yeah. And just for a fun gimmick, you can kind of change how you look depending upon which animal you're
Right.
doing.
Right.
Barry just happens to be your favorite.
Yeah.
That's
so.
great.
So I just came up with an idea. Like maybe I should be like David the Undying or the Undying David. Like I just like a basic ass name because it's kind of amusing. Like all these great names, and then here's Dave. But then it's like maybe I should be Dan the Undying, but we already have a Dan, and it would just be confusing. But then I was like, all right, so the Great Undying David. What my regular, because I'm like a socialite. Like, oh, what would my weakness be? Like, I'm undying. My name is David. And then I just thought of a belt. And I'm like, no, that's inappropriate. Someone's gonna get that joke, and they're gonna know it's disgusting. Jake gets it.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't get it. Sorry.
That's fine. We
Okay.
don't need to
Good,
explain it
good,
on stream.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, having like the proximity weakness,
Ooh,
like
David
just
of the Undead.
David of the Undead.
I like it.
That's fun.
My character name is Feline as well. That's what I decided. Yeah, her name is Fee.
So that's your real name?
Mm-hmm.
I went real name Blackwell for mine.
Nice.
So I wanted to be like spooky.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like
Ghost.
we can hash out like what particular item you want to have a week, like what your kryptonite is. That can. I'm not going to hit you with your kryptonite in the first couple of issues, probably. Largely, I'm going to use like Eldritch Mysteries does have its own kind of like built-in module. I won't do everything completely by the book. I have a tendency to like tweak things in there a little, but you know, why not? I don't think I'm going to try and run you guys into an encounter tonight. I think there is an intro mission we'll probably do on the next one. Do you guys maybe think you have any particular questions, like as far as maybe like how you can use your hero points, or like maybe the advantage dice or challenge dice or things of that nature?
Figure we'll
It
see
might
it in
make
action.
more sense to get into that when we go to
Yeah.
start rolling.
Yeah.
And I'll grab the book before the next session too and take a look at it. Like I'm enjoying this enough. I love systems that have collaborative world building where I need to own this. This is fun.
I really love it. There's one last thing that we didn't do just yet, but there's team roles. But you don't have to solidify that right now because every comic or every issue you can change what team role you're doing. But like whenever you go into a fight, you might have like a leader who can spend hero points to mess with people's initiatives, or like a support character who's good at healing teammates, or you can have an artillery person who's really good at blasting people, a striker that's good at smacking people, just a tank. There's various different roles you can fill within the team, and most of them have some sort of like, when you spend a hero point, do this to help folks out or do more damage.
I feel like since I'm going to be changing my spells probably, or my skills often, probably just be supportish all around, something in that realm. But
yeah, there's plenty of good ways to go.
Is that what the team roll cards are?
Yes. Yeah, the team roles are basically like at the beginning of each episode, so to speak, or each issue. You'd be like, you know what, for this comic, I feel like I'm going to be fulfilling this role.
That's cool.
And, there's a couple of their very straightforward damage dealing ones. There's a couple of their very obvious like heal or defend ones. And there's also several that are just kind of like support based ones, like whether you're messing with people's initiatives or letting people re-roll their advantage or, challenge dice, things like that. But I think we got a lot of cool stuff in place. Everybody rolled, like everybody kind of has their own origin thing. There is a random table you can roll in the back for origin type stuff. It's not necessary at all, but sometimes it's fun to roll on it just for giggles.
I have an idea of where my character is coming from, but
okay.
rolling is fun.
I do enjoy rolling.
Yeah.
So
I'll see what works better, or maybe it'll give me some ideas.
Yeah. Basically, it's just kind of like, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but it gives you like just maybe one random last thing to kind of close out on as we're kind of reaching the end of the this initial bit here. So we've got different tables for like, there's one table that's just for all heroes. There's another one that's for super science heroes, magic heroes, cosmic heroes, street level heroes, special origins like pariahs, or just strange heroes. So any of those are viable.
That's in the book itself.
Okay. And basically any of those, you could choose one and just roll a d10.
I'll see what a d10 on magic heroes gets me.
Okay, roll a d10 on magic. Let's see what we get. Okay, so for 6 on magic heroes, that would pull up cursed. A curse was placed upon you, and along with it, you gained incredible supernatural powers. This curse bestows a command upon you that binds your very soul, driving you to pursue that command at all costs. Who placed the curse upon you? What does the curse demand of you? Did you deserve it? And if so, what did you do to warrant it?
And where would that go in the sheet?
Basically, there's an empty section to some extent down below, usually what your primary ability is.
The truths, or
like in your truth section is a lot of times where you'll write that stuff.
Okay.
And none of these are binding. You don't have to do these. It's just kind of like...
No, that works perfectly for me, actually.
Good deal.
I'm trying to think of what the sorcerer would fit into on that one for our list.
There's magic. There's just all like generic, like all hero origins, potentially strange, or some cosmic stuff. The cosmic typically lends more towards space stuff, like aliens.
Let's do strange. I just feel like strange.
Okay.
We'll throw a d10 on strange. It's a 7.
All right.
I noticed 7. That I think all the dice are coming up as me for some reason. Did they all say that they're coming up as other people?
Yeah. It's going to be your. It always shows your name. I have no idea why it does this.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
So
I
if
don't
you
remember rolling that 6.
if you go with the Strange Heroes one, and you could bend this a little bit. We have
Mhm.
something called International Version. You were made into a superhero by your home country as a means of producing your people's version of a popular hero from another country.
Nice.
You were created for propaganda, or perhaps just as a means of showing that your country is capable of producing great heroes, despite the fact that your power set, costume, and hero moniker are clearly riffs on those possessed by a hero from another country.
This is perfect for Vagabond.
You're like a
Day.
knockoff brand of somebody else.
It's perfect for a Vagabond. They're like you on the streets.
It's like you're Italian
Put on this
Spider-Man. Is
costume.
what you are.
I really
Yes.
want to roll something random for mine too now.
Mine too, yeah.
That sounds so
Yeah,
good.
this is great.
Just
What's the
Just
high
think
level of
of-
the tables again? What are the options again?
Yeah. So there's like generic, like all heroes. There's super science heroes, magic heroes, cosmic, street level, special origins like pariahs or weird stuff like that, and then just straight up strange heroes.
Strange.
That's what I did.
Okay.
It's so wonderful.
And what should I roll?
D10.
Wait. D10. Ah. I got a 2.
Okay. Animal. You were a normal, everyday animal, going about your life as others of your kind do, when you were exposed to the same events that created another hero. Like that hero, you gained your powers along with increased intelligence and became a powered hero in your own right. You may or may not be able to speak the language of humanity, but you serve right alongside their heroes, even if they sometimes refer to you as a wonder pet or some other endearing moniker.
So now we have 3 animal-based heroes.
I have to look up what animal is most likely to be
A surgeon.
a surgeon.
You're the sturgeon surgeon.
Oh
Teenage
my
Mutant
God.
Ninja Jen. Oh no. The surgeon sturgeon? No. No.
Uh,
I know it's kind of a fishy one. I know.
Oh.
Scales really well there, though. It scales really well.
Oh my god.
I'm
mean-
sorry I left you so gutted.
weird things happen
Oh,
over
I
in
wish
the
this
Howling
would
Chasm. But
finish.
I'm on the tail end of my puns.
You really had me on the
Oh,
hook with
God.
those.
oh, that's wonderful.
Oh my god.
Did I Gilly have you on the hook for those? I'd like to roll on Strange as well.
Okay,
God.
why not?
All right. 5.
5. Okay, let's see. We got 5. We're gonna hit all of these, isn't there? So for 5, there is another. You have the same origin story as another hero.
Oh,
but where
gee,
that-
I wonder who it would be.
But where that hero was in the spotlight, you were in the background, overlooked by most people who witnessed the origin event. You are the other test subject in the government experiment, the person just out of frame who is also splashed with radioactive waste, or the second child sent in an escape pod fleeing your dying homeworld. Choose another hero and write yourself into that hero's background, casting your origin as an expansion of that hero's origin story.
You better make it Jake. You better make it Jake.
What? You're an animal.
What?
It makes so much
But
sense.
he's a celebrity. He's a celebrity.
Oh God!
I'm sorry. Okay,
I don't
No,
catch the
I was
connection at all.
definitely thinking Jen there.
Oh, okay, find me.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
maybe-
you summoned him.
Maybe we can see what the other origins are before you settle on it.
That's fair too. I summoned
It's true.
you.
But that's fun. A lot of the strange ones are silly. There's one on the strange table that is just there's one where you're a
The
living
cartoon's
cartoon.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I
Roger.
love the living cartoon so much. Okay. All right. Are Chuck or Jeff, either of you feeling like rolling on one of these?
No, I think I'm just gonna pick Immortal off of the All Heroes.
That's perfect. Yeah,
Which is
you're an
just-
immortal. You have inside you Blood of Kings. Wait, that's not what it has there. But
No, you are immortal, the sense that you do not die to old age. At some point, you were an inhabitant of an ancient civilization. You simply stopped aging. Over the course of many lifetimes, you developed the ability to use your powers, which are learned, not inherited. I don't know. I'll think about it. I may not.
you
go
can
with
twist that a little
yeah.
bit. But I mean, you're immortal. That's
Yeah.
great. You've had a lot of time to kind of tinker with your innate abilities, and
Yeah.
very cool.
So I rolled 6 on the Strange Heroes.
I think we have a 6.
That was on a different table.
Psychotic break.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay. You suffered some trauma or mental illness that resulted in a psychotic break. You lost touch with reality and fashioned yourself into a hero as either a defense mechanism or as a result of believing you have powers or some special origin, when in reality, you may not.
Wow, that hurts.
It's delightful.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about Shadizi is like everything he's doing could just be all in his head, and he's just some guy in a bear outfit.
He's just he's
Every time.
Speed of the cheetah.
And I just run really fast, and in my mind, I'm galloping.
Or just a kid that made it to the rift accidentally that got raised as a monster.
Oh my god.
I just carry around a bunch of different onesies of different animals, and I just put it on, and that's my new manifestation.
There you go.
Oh, good.
Let's go.
Oh my god. That makes me really happy. You just think you're on.
Everybody else on the team's like, bless his heart.
Bless his heart. He works so hard.
He's so heartwarming to the rest of us.
I take
He's
the
like,
seismic
you know what
power, and I just like hit the ground a lot. You're shaking really hard right now.
Yeah, from laughter, people just laugh at you so much they shake.
Oh, man.
It makes total sense though, because a lot of times, like superhero teams will have the one monstrous character, like the Thing. So we have the one mundane character instead.
I love it.
Oh, that's right.
He's our Marilyn Munster.
I love that type of hero. Like I've worked with getting my son to play this, and the concept that he wanted to do is there's a power called luck manipulation, and his character is a kid who thinks he's a wizard, but he just has luck manipulation. So like
cool.
He thinks he casts a spell, but things just go lucky. Like I love that
Yeah.
style of
Like a storm
that's
suddenly forms overhead and lightning hits the guy.
yeah. So I'm a big fan of the idea like your guy may or may not actually have superpowers. In the long run, it may be hard to flavor. Like I would assume we should probably say you've got some stuff. Maybe it doesn't work exactly like you think.
Right.
Oh my god. I guess I would hate to see what happens when you're like, I can fly like an eagle.
No, maybe his adoptive parents in the rift did give him like a suit that, you know, like a cursed suit
Magical
that does allow him
items,
to shape and shift.
I think that my character is going to have like an identity crisis sort of thing. And like every week he's going to have new powers and a new hero he's knocking off.
That's amazing. I mean, part of your thing is you constantly switch out your powers too. So you're just always
Yeah.
ripping off somebody
else.
Is that your superhero name? Are you knockoff?
I think it could be or something
perfect.
more. We gotta riff on that maybe some more, but
Ah, man, that's so
that
fun.
could be it.
I think I'm going to be a raccoon.
Amazing.
A ghost raccoon.
I'm a ghost raccoon that
Nice.
raises people from the dead.
And you wear
It
a
raises
mask over
other
your
raccoons.
raccoon eyes.
Yes. I raise other raccoons from the dead is what happens.
And my origin is she was trying to raise a raccoon and she raised a cat and I was a castaway.
You're my first one that I tried
Yeah.
to raise.
Cat.
Yeah.
Or now I'm putting the knockoff.
Cats away.
That's why my name is Catastrophe. Is
So
because
you're on
everything
your
went
10th
wrong.
life then.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh
Mhm.
my god.
Mhm.
So good. Ashley, a million raccoon hands. Yes.
I'm Big
Yeah.
Pharma.
Oh,
I am Big
Oh,
Pharma
God.
with tiny
Big
raccoon
Pharma.
hands.
I am small
gotta
pharma.
freely cover some-
I'm
man.
medium-sized pharma.
Oh, no.
Pharma bigger than
That's
life.
so wonderful.
Welcome to the raid. Welcome,
Yeah.
raiders, as we're
Yeah.
saying I am Big Pharma over
I
and
am
over
Big
with tiny
Pharma.
raccoon
I am
hands.
Big
Big
Pharma.
Pharma.
Tiny
Hold me
raccoon hands.
closer, tiny
Tiny
pharma.
I'm Tiny Pharma.
Lots of pharma.
Get closer,
Do I live in the white trash can part of town? Yes, I do.
Tiny
I do.
Slamtown.
I have
I live in
never
Slamtown
seen-
with tiny raccoon hands.
I've never seen pharma so small before.
The tiniest of pharmas.
Size doesn't matter when it comes to pharma.
No,
As long as the pharma has the feet.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it depends.
No,
It
no.
depends on
It's not the size of the
No,
pharma.
don't do
It's
it.
how you
Don't
use
do
it.
Do it. Too soon.
No.
We've got new watchers. Don't
Oh
ruin
no.
me.
It is
I
the
know.
pharma feet.
No! Stop
please
it.
no.
I'm not doing that.
So okay, so you were
Irene
raised.
knows.
Irene!
No, Irene, don't encourage them.
Oh, transatlantic
Oh.
big pharma. Can someone get that out? Brendan or Jacob?
What?
Transatlantic Big
Transatlantic
Pharma.
Big Pharma.
What though? What about?
Like the accent, I guess.
Do I'm Big
accent.
Pharma, but
Oh, fuck.
That's gonna be tough. So used to saying
I'm Big
it.
Pharma. See,
I am Big Pharma. I don't know. That one's hard. It's
Yeah, it's tricky.
yeah. There's not enough syllables with transatlantic to like really get into that.
There's got to be something where Dan can be the
Pharmaceuticals.
pharma, but he's like the off-brand name of like the big pharma.
I
Oh,
am Big
God.
Walgreens.
Something with
CVS
generic.
Avenger or something.
Generic's
Big
gotta be in
Pharma,
there.
but over here we've got Grand Pharmaceuticals. We got everything you need. Oh my god.
What are we even doing anymore?
It's
I
like
don't
the old
even-
Hollywood, like, big. I am Big Pharma. Oh my god, I can't do it without doing
Yeah,
it.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's
Can't
mostly
say
what's
pharma
screwing
anymore
me
without
up.
What he sounds like now.
We've got
I'm
these
Big
enormous
Pharma.
pharmaceuticals.
I'm Big Pharma.
Thank you.
Oh
There
my
it
god.
is. In pharmaceuticals.
Enormous pharmaceuticals.
Frankly, my dear,
Dude.
I don't
Okay.
give a damn.
So I will ask. So I've figured out how like you got summoned by her, but you
Mhm.
you know you've got your 10th life. You're kind of like a weird undead cat thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Where does your giant bat, come into play?
It was another accidental summoning that you just latched
Uh,
onto.
Well, maybe you're the necromancy mix-up, and the bat is the summoning mix-up.
Oh, and the two of us together, Wonder Twin powers activate kind of thing. I like
Our
that.
Powers combine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a summoned bat, and I'm a undead cat.
So can the bat communicate at all? Like, is it? I mean, it's a big weird bat. It's got 80% skill ranked.
I really like the idea of the cat being the wise guy talker of the duo, and the bat being the muscle. The bat just being the silent, broody muscle that like communicates and grunts Chewbacca style with the cat, if anything.
Gotcha. So it's intelligent. It understands
Yeah.
its surroundings, but just Chewbacca style. It's
Yeah.
your big brood.
Yeah.
Love it. It can communicate diseases.
Oh no.
Oh God.
That's true.
Wouldn't that be the raccoon?
Ah.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm so ready to go for this in a couple weeks.
God.
I think most of the other stuff we'll just kind of, we'll hit advantage and challenge dice once we do our first encounter. We'll kind of talk team roles right before we start that up as well. I think we've gotten a lot done tonight. We have made a really weird world that I'm
Do we
looking
want to
forward
like
to.
do a quick like wrap up summary on it for all the people who showed up late?
Who we are.
Yes,
Of
I think
our
that's a
zaning
great
world is.
idea.
Jeremy, do you want to do the world building and talk about what world we've created?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I suppose we should explain where this is going to take place. This game is going to take place in late 60s, entering the 70s. In Hollywood, we're going to have apparently just a ridiculous gonzo setting, and I love it. In the city of Hollywood, there is this earthquakes from a few years back revealed kind of like this weird dimensional rift into a surreal mirror world where monsters are the norm, and there's a dimensional crossroads, and magic is just prevalent but completely chaotic and unstable. And I love the fact. So our wonderful team of players has decided that some of the big bads in Hollywood are a bunch of like Universal Studio type guys that are just using this rift to pull these monsters into the real world to use them for their projects.
They are talent agents of evil.
Yeah, literally talent agents of evil, pulling monsters from this other dimension.
Which is a pleasant place, by the way.
Yeah, your place is super nice. It's crazy from our world's perspective, but for you guys, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys are from that other world, and you've been sent here to try and save your people, so to speak, or bring them back. Like initially, it was investigation, like what's going on with all these people that are disappearing. you come to investigate why the monsters are disappearing, and you see this just ridiculous world that is using your people in just such a bizarre way. And so you've got a city fraught with crime and mysticism and just 1960s gonzo nonsense. And
a 500-foot woman named Karen roaming around every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just in the background of the city, there's constantly a 500-foot woman doing things.
Just kind of chilling out.
Just existing.
Oh my God.
Blocking traffic, dropping lighters, and things like that.
Yeah, we've got like a bad neighborhood of Slam Town. That's where like the monsters that the studios don't use anymore go to live. We've got the Hollywood shills for the financial district. We've got the Boudeo Drive for our commercial center. We've got our quiet suburb of Shiver Lake. Man, you guys have built a delightful place. And who is our monster squad? Who makes up this amazing team?
I am celebrity Hollywood actor Boris Rains Jr., aka Dr. Karloff. My dad was Boris Rains Sr., and he was raised to serve as a star, but unfortunately he died, and so now they've targeted me to take my famous dad's place in the movies, and I must obey. Otherwise, they will target the rest of my family.
Oh, no. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Dan, what kind of trouble are you going to get us into?
I still got to finish fleshing it out a little bit, but I think I'm going with just James Johnson as my real name. Just something super ordinary sounding. And then for now, I think it's the knockoff as his hero name. And his current powers are animate objects and life drain, but he's a vagabond. So I think he was just kind of picked off the streets and was like, yeah, you're just going to go do this. And I get to rotate out my powers frequently. So I'm going to be just imitating someone else, I think, from week to week.
That's wonderful. Jen, tell us about this delightful supernatural raccoon.
Yeah, so Surgeon Spectre, real name Blackwell, is a ghost raccoon. The trash panda of everyone's nightmares, who summons tiny raccoon hands to raise other raccoons from the dead. And I both summon raccoons out of thin air as well as raise them from the dead. Very important distinction. The ones that have died had rabies before they died. Very important. Very, very deadly. Very deadly. And so essentially just a little spirit raccoon that's also wearing a little like like an old timey surgeon's outfit that like comes around, like ties in the back, and yeah.
They got really foamy doctor's masks. Foam burbling up.
Hey, I didn't say that Surgeon Spectre died from rabies. Okay, Surgeon Spectre just raises rabies infected raccoons. Okay,
as one does.
Yeah, of course. Oh my. Friendin, tell us about your delightful little familiar.
So I am Catastrophe. My real name is Meat Ow, and I am an undead cat raised by the Spectre during an early experiment when they were trying to raise raccoons. My companion is a large spectral bat, which was also part of that first summoning of hers. And my weakness is tuna. Shiny objects, cat toys, loud noises.
I like that it's like between you and I, we just like we're like a cascade of creatures that could possibly have rabies. Like it's like we got a raccoon, we've got a cat, we've got a bat. It's like, okay, there's rabies somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Don't eat us.
That's delightful.
Oh my god.
Don't get bit.
Chuck, who is our immortal friend on the team?
I still got a lot of workshopping to do. I'm not entirely fixed on a name or an alter ego, but I do know like his origin story with an unfortunate like mystical accident with a dog a rabbit and a duck. He was accidentally made the avatar of the ancient entity known as Kashi the Deathless, which is going to be featured in Dan Dies at the End, Volume 2, coming soon. But yeah, he's a socialite, which is what I'm really struggling with. I'm like, oh, he's a zookeeper, and he was struck by lightning while carrying
the whole thing over again.
What's that? Oh yeah. Oh, Grouch Couch, what up?
Whoa!
But yeah, initially
Amazing.
I was gonna do a zoo accident, like a lightning strike while he was carrying a duck, a rabbit, and a dog, and that connected him with Kashi.
Into a bar. No.
But I don't know. I gotta come to terms with the socialite, so I gotta workshop the name. Like I was gonna go like Undying Dave, but I'm just like maybe I can come up because then like everyone's gonna know his name. Like, oh, your superhero name is Undying Dave. You're Dave so and so because you look just like him, and you've got the same fucking name.
It's it's Hollywood, man. You learned how to twist your public image in a good way, and
I can't shapeshift. I need to come. I still need to workshop the name.
Irene came up with the same thing that you did earlier, Undying Dan.
Undying. Oh, we already have a Dan. That's the only problem.
I could be flexible.
I know. I'll have something good. Come our first play session.
Sure,
yeah.
It's gonna be amazing. It'll gel within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll hit the ground running and have a fantastic time. And then we thought we were gonna get a Care Bear, and we got something pretty close. What do you have for us, Jeff?
Yeah, like Chuck, I'm not entirely settled in everything, but I think his name is Barry Grant. I know that he was a circus performer. He had a psychotic break at some point, so he actually might not really have powers and just might be really sympathetic, or other people take pity on him and assume he has powers, or maybe he does. I'm not sure yet. He is a legendary warrior, though, who apparently was born in ancient times, or maybe he isn't, and he just thinks he is. That too. So yeah, it's always interesting where you start with like one idea, and then as you start getting more elements and more components, it just sort of evolves.
Morphs.
So I got to sit and think on a few things, and what powers. I'm still not 100% sure on the powers, but yeah. Anyway, I definitely like the circus performer, the psychotic break. Those are the two key ingredients I think right now for
that does give you some pretty awesome groundwork. Yeah. Well, I'm really excited for this. I'm excited for our opening mission. I'm grateful for everybody who showed up to kind of watch this world build and nerd out a little bit, picking out some powers. Anybody have anything they want to toss out as we wrap up?
500-foot Karen is OP.
500-foot Karen.
I love the 500.
She is OP. That's true.
The tallest
She's not your
building
typical Karen.
is not a building. It's a Karen.
It's a Karen.
Yeah.
When you order a coffee, one of the sizes is Karen.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent of like the giant mug.
The big slurp or whatever.
I actually like the
the big
idea that
gulp.
Karen occasionally wants a coffee from local coffee shops, and so all coffee shops need to keep a Karen-sized coffee in there. It's almost like a protection racket where it's like,
They call it an
She'll show up-
actual Karen.
yeah. She'll show up angry, and if she doesn't get her coffee, you might need some new baristas.
I feel like
Yes.
maybe all the coffee shops in the town have to pull together to make one coffee for Karen.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
the
like
offering. It's the Karen offering. There's an altar, and they all.
Karen toll.
Every fall.
They put the big latte and like
We don't
there's
have
just
water
1,000
towers. We have coffee towers.
Yeah.
It's the cafe. It's the cafe toll.
it's
Every
got
fall,
giant
the great
insulation
I
foam
love
Karen
padding around a
sacrifice
tower.
is a swimming pool of pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
Incredible.
That makes Nestle Toll House have a whole new meaning.
Oh my.
So we're gonna be playing in this, like what, 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I don't know if I can wait that long.
I am so pumped.
This is gonna be
Me too.
amazing.
It's gonna
I'm
be
ready.
wild.
I'm
have
gonna
some weird-ass
take some time
dreams
to
tonight.
absorb this and think of how to take what's in the module and adjust it to this. But it'll be good.
We're gonna practice our
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
transatlantic accents.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I don't think I
Near,
can.
far, correction. Near, far.
Yeah.
Big
Don't
farmer.
worry about me. I've got a
farmer.
big cat. Let's
It's
go.
big farmer, you see. Near, far. I'm trying to
Almost
practice it.
pharmaceuticals.
Got the
Jimmy
feet.
Cagney and James Durant is a good way to go too. Like if you're having a trouble with the transatlantic stuff.
We'll do some research.
We'll Google it.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Thank you, all of you. I'm so happy.
Thank you,
so
Jeremy.
glad.
We did what
Yeah.
we do best.
Thank
we
you
went off
for
the
writing.
rails.
I'm so glad you're getting us through this, Jeremy, because this is going to be awesome.
It is
Yeah.
gonna be fun. Like at this point, like I have just like this weird vision in my head of like a combination of the Tick and old like Silver Age comics, and just delightful.
Sprinkling of some Tales from the Crypt in there.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo on meth and acid.
Yeah, that's probably going on too.
Ooh.
This normie
What do you
was a
think's in those
monster the
Scooby
whole
snacks?
time.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I think I've pretty much got all I've got in. I'll have things ready for you guys in a couple weeks.
Do we need to
Yeah,
do
who knows about
our
it?
channel plugs again real
Hear
quick?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's do our
anybody want
sign-offs.
to plug any pluggables?
Well, let's start with you, Jeremy. Why don't you tell us about some podcasts we could listen to?
It's true. I do have a strong and abiding love of all things comics, and you can check out the Plewdcast, Plewd, Plewdcast. We've got Ninja Turtles Urban Legends. We've got Batman Contagion, and coming up very soon, we'll record Project Next Wave. And then also, please check out anything these amazing people do.
All right. We'll hop down to Jeff.
Yeah, so twitch.tv/thelollygaggers. You can watch us playing other games, a lot of Free League games, like Friday and sometimes Mondays, and tomorrow night, Thursday nights on twitch.tv/Zweihander-RPG. Catch myself and Jen and Friendin as we play some Zweihander.
Yeah, and it isn't a certain game we play in moving a certain somewhere?
Yes, and so I mean we're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, we
like,
can
he's
talk
in
about
the
it now.
damn channel. So yeah, like starting on Monday, our Vesson game that used to be on the Lollygagger channel, which included Chuck and Dan and Jeremy, we're moving to the Free League Publishing channel. So catch it there, same time, 9 Central. You can see us there every other Monday. Yeah.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
There you go.
Different bat channel.
Same bat time, different bat channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for Defenders of Cobalt, you're watching us here. Follow, like, sub, do whatever you got to do. You can also catch us every other Friday on twitch.tv/ZweihanderRPG. Not this Friday, but next Friday we'll be finishing up a Bitter Harvest, and then we'll be back to our ongoing campaign, The Bloody Marches. You can also check us every other Saturday night on Goodman Games Official, twitch.tv/Goodman Games Official. Right now we're doing our Phylactery Hex Crawl, and pretty soon we'll be moving into just playing through every goddamn module that you can buy on the Goodman Games store. And then Saturday, we'll be doing a session 0 for Forbidden Lands, also on the Free League Games Publishing channel. So we'll have a show there as well. I haven't put it out there, but the name, thanks for that follow. The name of our show for that is going to be Forbidden Defenders. So that'll be our
That sounds
channel on Free
steamy.
League. Yeah, it does.
Nice.
So spicy. So yeah, also by our zine, Dan
Thank you
Dies at
for
the End.
defending me.
Yeah, still on sale for 50 cents.
Soon
Go
the
buy you
print
a
copy.
Friendin wherever Friendins are sold on the internet.
And
Go
join the Discord.
join the
Latchkey
Discord.
Kids.
Yeah. You can find Jen anywhere people have an open spot on a game on any channel on the internet.
That's right.
And Jake and
Just
Dan.
anywhere. I
just
appear.
anywhere,
How'd
yeah.
you get the Zoom link? Shut the fuck up. Let me in your game.
Yeah. That's how she made it here.
It's true.
How'd you get in a roll
true.
20? What?
Yeah.
She's good.
I'm in everything.
Real
No.
good.
I was in here before you even started the campaign.
Mhm.
I am Foundry.
Jeremy, have you figured
God.
out your signature sign off, or you want me to do something?
Oh man, yeah, I don't have a signature sign off just yet. I will have one for next
Have
week.
one for next session.
I'm completely flabbergasted by our session 0. I'm still kind of on my heels.
Something about turgid probably would work.
Turgid?
I think.
I am turgid with anticipation for the next
There we
game.
go.
That's what I'll say
you
for
go.
now.
There you go. All right, we're signing off. Go watch Jeff, Jen, and Friendin tomorrow night on Zweihander. Watch Jeff on Friday for some Mutant Year Zero. Watch Friendin, Dan, Jake, and I here on Defenders of Cobalt for some 5th Ed. And we'll catch you all later.
Yeah. Lots of stuff going on. We'll see you later.
That's the Rastas.
That's the wrong
Nice.
They can still see us. They
Good
can
night.
still hear us.
Wow.
And we're gone.